To another episode of Just Us Guys with good friends and better takes. In this episode, we're going to hopefully fall into a groove and, maybe keep this a little more and O and pausing friendly. So, with all that said, you guys want to introduce yourselves or anything as you do hand gestures?
No. Watch the first podcast.
Yo,
nice.
No,
Crown and ginger ale, baby.
Okay.
Ew, with apple crown?
Yeah, it's really good.
It might not be bad.
It's really
I
good.
think that's
Great
called like a
Mountain Dew.
Buffalo Bill or something.
Yeah. Calbert again here.
Yeah, no, I wasn't asking for introductions. I was just saying, do you guys want to
Hey,
say
Seven,
anything?
I'm back.
That back in action. Wearing the greatest of all time jersey right now. Thank you, Evan, for the Christmas gift. Yep. Greatest basketball player of all time, Carmelo Anthony.
I'm gonna have to.
He's a
take an
cheater, a
edible.
liar, and a whore.
No. No allegations ever been caused.
That was quick.
But yeah.
Oh, what's up with you, Mello, Big Ben? Come on now.
Listen. Innocent until proven guilty.
That is
That's
fair. That
fine.
is
And
the
Jim-
American
and
legal
Boeheim.
system.
And Jim Boeheim.
And-
Don't forget about
Jim
him.
Haheim.
Yep.
All right.
About Jim Boeheim.
Well, boys, let's hop
Perfect.
right into it.
1.0.
Let's get into the New Year's Six games. First one up, which is actually happening tomorrow, so we definitely need to talk about this. Number 7 Florida is playing number 6 Oklahoma in the Cotton Bowl. Oklahoma is favored -3.5.
Yep.
Personally, I like Florida a lot in this game. I'm probably gonna bet the +3.5 on this one.
Not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna money line it if I was to bet it because there's nothing softer than Big 12 defense, and I think Kyle Trask is gonna absolutely tear him apart. I don't think it's gonna be a game. I bet it's a 24-7, and then it ends up being around 35-21 kind of game.
Nah, it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
going to be a shootout. I don't know about Florida's defense. I think is good, but I think it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah. It's
I
gonna
don't.
absolutely-
I don't
Pistons
think
fast.
Florida's defense is. I don't think Oklahoma's offense is.
Over under right now is sitting at 67.5.
Yeah, I'll take the under.
That's a lot of points.
See, I'm thinking it's going to be like 42-35.
Yeah, I have Ty. You were so close, bro. I have at 45-38, but I have Oklahoma winning. 45-38.
See, I just don't like. I've watched a couple Oklahoma games this year because my boss is a big fan, and Spencer Rattler. And now he's improved a lot this year, but
He's gonna be good.
so
He's gonna be
shaky out in the first 3 games. Like not good in the first 3 games. So I
he's
can't
gonna be
trust
good,
Spencer in a big game like this.
It's a lot of
good.
points.
I think Spencer Rattler's gonna be
Taking
really
Trask.
good though.
Trask with the Burrow-like numbers and statistics. Give me him all day. -3. Hammered Dahn.
+3.
+3.
Big
Hammered Dahn.
statistics guy.
Who?
Me?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I get that. It's gonna be a shootout either way.
No, I think
I
it's
think
going
it's
to be a
gonna
shootout. I think Oklahoma's
What'd you say the
offense-
over under was? 67.
67.5.
I
Yeah.
saw a lot of points to bet on.
Dude, listen,
a
it's
lot of
almost
points to
too
bet on.
obvious to be an over. It's almost.
But
too
you guys
obvious.
just predicted overs.
But that's what
I'm
that's
taking
what-
the over.
To put
No,
money on
I'm
it,
predicting
actually
under.
put money on it is scary to me. Like that's a lot of points. I mean, you know me, I bet over pretty much 95% of the time. 95% of the time, I'd rather root for points.
Oh, my favorite over I think maybe my favorite bet of this year is 100%. It was Clemson and some like St. George.
Notre
It was
Dame?
some weird. No, it was a weird school. Like one of the first couple games. The over was 69, I think.
What a number.
Oh
Nice.
no, it was right around there. It was an absurd number, and I was like, I'm just gonna hammer the over.
Yeah.
Clemson by themselves scored 66, and the other team scored a single touchdown. So I was like, all right, cool, I win.
Hey, good. Hey, that's good over.
That's all I need.
That's why the line makers make the big bucks.
I couldn't believe it. I was just like, this can't be real. And they had 50 at halftime, and they only scored like a couple more points. I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah. If this honestly, if this podcast came out in time, I'd possibly would pick Florida money line. but I'm gonna stick with my other two picks.
I mean, it should
I
be
think Florida's gonna. I mean, like, do we think Oklahoma can go a 40-point game with Alabama?
Boomer.
With Alabama, no, not a single chance.
No. So then that's why I say it's Florida by a long
But
shot. Like,
Florida
makes
just
sense.
scored 40 on Alabama, so yeah, that's
That's
why
what I'm saying.
that's why I'm
That's what
taking
I'm saying.
Florida.
Boomer
Yeah, me too.
sooner.
Me too.
Again,
I'm
our
also
betting
gonna bet-
section.
I'm
By the
betting
way,
on
to
money
everyone
line.
listening, our betting section comes way later, like towards the end.
It's all about the money,
This is just us bullshitting.
Yes.
It's all about the money, though.
It is. You're right.
And to throw it back to the original comment about Jim Boeheim, 1.0.
Oh my god. All right, let's hop forward to January 1st in the Peach Bowl. Number 9 Georgia is playing number 8 Cincinnati. Cincinnati is currently 6.5-point dogs.
This is absolutely ridiculous. Georgia has a home game, taking Georgia all day long.
Cincy. I love Cincy.
Cincy.
Home game.
No.
They got a home
okay.
game.
So
It's a
so
home
I
game.
don't. To
With
be honest
fans.
with
Fake
you,
news.
to be honest with you, the way that I look at this is this game is the biggest game of the bowl season when it comes to future college football playoff opportunities, because like Cincinnati is a mid-major school. They're good. Like they're actually really good.
I was going to say they're really good this
they're
year.
really good, but like
Bearcats.
they don't play enough, right? So this is a very good example of like, okay, we put you in a game with one of the best SEC schools in the country, right? We'll
Not
see
just
how you
no,
do.
no, no. Hang on.
If
Not
Cincinnati
just
comes on top, they're gonna look like the college
This-
football
this
playoff committee
isn't-
is gonna look really bad.
this isn't just like another bowl game like the other two, like the Cotton Bowl or the Fiesta Bowl or Orange Bowl.
Yes,
This
the
is
Peach
the
Bowl.
game that leads into both semifinal matchups. This is the first
Right.
game of the day that then follow up by Alabama or OSU,
Right.
Clemson, Notre Dame. This is a big game. Last year's was Penn State Memphis, and that game was like 52-48 or something.
59.
Yeah, it was a really good game.
Yeah, that's what led into the other two
Evan,
semis.
Evan,
So it's a
Evan,
great
quick on
start. Like this game has to be a banger, like right out of the gate. And I think
I don't think it was
I like
59
Cincy.
cal. I don't think it was 59 cal. It was like a one-score game.
No,
No,
I
it
saw
wasn't.
52-49 or something, 48 or
53-39, Penn State.
David, I knew 38.
Yeah,
so
dude.
close.
Yeah,
The Lions.
I definitely think this game is huge for like mid-major schools, like
No, it is.
the BYU's, the Coastal Carolinas, all those schools that were scratching top 10. Like if Cincinnati can put away a very good win, that'll definitely maybe sway college football playoff decisions in the future.
Question.
That's one of those things.
Yeah.
What's the name of the bowl Cincinnati plays in?
It's
This is the Peach Bowl.
Peach Bowl.
Okay, because Penn State played in the Cotton Bowl last
Yeah,
year.
they just
Yeah,
no,
all
we're
six
talking
rotate.
switching.
Yeah, all six rotate.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, question:
Yeah.
are they allowing fans?
I don't know that Atlanta.
Are they
I
going by
believe,
state guidelines
I believe
Yes.
Atlanta's allowing fans in. Which if yes,
Then
it's
Georgia
in
all day.
Georgia.
all day?
I mean, it's going to be a very small portion. It's not going to really be.
No, it'll be
only
like
thing
the school bands will be there, the cheering sections and like that
parents,
type of stuff. But
parents, right?
Yeah.
Like, the
And
only
back in August, they sorry, Kate. They announced a 20 to 25% capacity, but I don't know if that's changed
Right.
or not.
right, but like
I mean,
the
with
thing
Super
is, like,
COVID out there, who knows?
the way that I look at it is even if it is like a home game, it's only a home game because of the location, not because of the people. Now any other normal year, it's an unbelievable home game. Like
Oh,
Georgia,
it's massive
Georgia
for the
should-
dogs.
they should just played in Athens at that point.
That's what I'm saying.
No, it'd be massive for the dogs.
They ain't traveling.
But I really believe Cincinnati is going to come out firing in this game. And also, I don't know. I want to believe that Cincinnati can beat Georgia because if Cincy goes out and just gets dog walked by Georgia, like, yeah, Cal, to reinforce your point, yeah, it's not like none of those schools are ever going to get another shot, period.
31-27,
Yeah.
Georgia.
Wild call.
You know what? That'd be great for Cincy. Cincinnati
No, it'd be
would
huge.
put a great showing, and I think everybody would be excited. They'd be like, okay, like mid-major football's on the come up. Like that's really, really good. So I would love that. That would be a great result.
Well, that's kind of where I'm at. All right, let's see. Fiesta Bowl's up. Do we want to go in chronological order or just order I wrote
No.
these down?
Playoffs.
Just
for
write them
last.
down. Yeah.
Keep the playoffs
Okay.
for last.
Okay. January 2nd is the Fiesta Bowl. Number 25
Amiga.
Oregon against number 10 Iowa State. Iowa State is favored 4.5.
Iowa State.
I think
Yeah,
I
State.
think I think Iowa State.
I don't think Oregon should even be in this game. I don't.
It's just hard
I'm
for
a
me
low-
to believe that a 25th ranked school deserves to be in one of these.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a low key homer this because I do like Oregon. I like their program. Their uniforms.
Love
are
their
the dopest
uniforms. Yeah, that's all you
Their
want.
dopest uniforms.
Well, that's
in the
because the
country.
Nike factory is like 3 miles from campus.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
Walk down and get New Jersey.
Eugene,
Mhm.
Oregon is lit. Yeah, so I'm gonna roll with Oregon. I'm gonna grade
Fair
horse
enough.
it.
Yeah, Oregon. They have one ranked win this year
I
Yeah,
just
against USC.
give me
Oh, no.
give me Iowa
against
State.
USC.
And that was and
And Iowa State has played some quality
That was
teams.
like early. I think that might have been like one of the first games of the year too.
and they're not ranked anymore, correct? Or are they?
Oregon's 25th.
No,
For the 25th,
USC.
yeah. USC, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't
looking up
I
Iowa
don't
State.
I don't think so.
Well, they were gonna play in the Pac-12 championship, but they got hit with the COVID.
Iowa State has some.
No, Iowa
a
State's
few
good.
Yeah, they're good. They have a few ugly losses.
Cyclones,
They
baby.
lost to.
Move
They
your
lost
body
to the
like a
Raging-
cyclone.
They lost to
Do
the
it all night long.
the
No,
Raging
seriously, though.
Cajuns.
Louisiana Tech's really good, dog.
They were good.
They are good. I think they're like
They
16.
lost to Oklahoma State by a single score.
Oklahoma State's currently tied with Miami at time of recording this.
And they beat Oklahoma 37-30. So they have a good win. You know, they've proven.
I like Iowa
yeah,
State.
I'm taking Iowa State.
I like
all day.
Iowa State in this.
Yeah,
So let's hop to the Orange Bowl, January 2nd as well. It's number 13 UNC against number 5 A&M. A&M is favored by 7.5. I'm hammering A&M.
I am, but I don't like the line.
I don't
I
like
think
the line
A&M
either.
I like A&M wins money line. I think they win outright, but I think it's a one-score game with. I think it's a last-minute field goal, even overtime type game. You know, UNC, their offense is solid. They have a gunslinger.
No, they don't. They're not gonna have their guys though.
This
Are
this
they
is this dude
Yeah,
right here. Let me say one
Yeah.
thing. Let me say one thing really quick. A&M is out for blood in this game because they didn't make it to 5 and Notre Dame got in over them. So Notre Dame or
That's
A&M
okay.
is going to come out and just bitch
Swing it.
slap UNC. That
Swing
they
it.
have to.
UNC's lost their 2 starting running backs who are 2 All-Americans.
I was going to say they're like arguably the 2 best duo backs in the entire.
Yeah,
Are they get hurricane or they just sit out for the
they're
NFL?
they're just preparing for the draft. And then they lost their starting linebacker. I think I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. Sorry. And then they lost a wide receiver as well. So a wide receiver is an All-American as well. So they have 3 All-American players not playing, and including their starting linebacker who was their leader on the team. So I would 100% not be betting North Carolina. Like that'd be crazy. They would have to shock the world to win this game.
Well, and to my point, like I just think A&M is going to come out pissed that they didn't make it into the top 4 after Notre Dame lost to Clemson.
I will
just-
tell you this though, UNC going into next season will be a top 10 preseason.
No, I'm
rank.
right. I'm on that train with you.
Yep, they will be. They'll be a top 10.
Yeah, I'm
preseason
on
ranking.
that train with you.
Probably like 7 or 8 is what I had if I had to guess.
That's all right. Penn State won't be ranked, so. So to the Rose Bowl then.
Yes,
Let it ride.
All right.
I will accept this rose.
We're not gonna become a Bachelor show.
I have
January 1st, it's the Rose Bowl. This is the first game of the 2 semifinal games. Number 4 Notre Dame takes on number 1 Alabama. Alabama is still favored by 19.5 points. I don't like the points line, but I mean Alabama is also like minus 800, so like this is just I'm not betting on this game. But it's Alabama that's gonna win this game.
Max gonna throw for 4 tutters.
Yeah, like no, he might throw for 6, dude.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
Max.
unfortunately, this is gonna be another sorry ass game. You know, in the grand stage of them all in the playoffs. Year after year, like we said in the last podcast, the college football committee, whatever they call themselves, continue to whiff.
Like, I think
this is a game I'm not gonna watch.
Like if you
You
put
know,
A&M
I know-
in here instead of Notre Dame, I'm watching this game. I just am.
Yes, that's exactly my point. You know, it's just a game I'm not going to watch. And it sucks.
Personally,
Bama wins,
I think it's gonna be a tight game at halftime, and then Alabama's gonna blow them out.
I just don't think Notre Dame can score with Alabama. We just saw what they can do in the SEC championship game. I just don't think that under any circumstances Notre Dame can score with Alabama at any capacity.
I don't know if Alabama covers because you got to think like...
No, 19.5 is bonkers.
Yeah, I don't know if they cover, but I mean, I think it's a 2-score game. Like, Alabama wins easily. I think it's a close game up to halftime, though. And I think Alabama 21. Just lays their nuts on their face.
Yeah, I just don't see Notre Dame coming anywhere near this. I just don't.
Yeah.
All right, Sugar Bowl, the one that pretty much everyone cares about because it should be the best game, and yet it still has the...
A little rivalry game, too, honestly.
Yeah.
In
recent memory, yeah. Fueled by both head coaches, mind you, not just the players.
Yep.
It's the Sugar Bowl, January 1st as well. This is the night semifinal game. Number 3, Ohio State takes on number 2, Clemson. Clemson is favored at 7.5. I don't love that line, but I can see Clemson winning by 10.
Yep. Hey, I'm going to enjoy talking about Ohio State here in a few minutes, but I'm going to take Clemson because they have a better coach and they have a better quarterback. Just an overall better team. Then that's really about it. There's not much more needs to be said.
Yeah.
Clemson's going to wipe Ohio State. They've played 6 games this year, 6 or 7 games.
6.
They're not ready for Clemson. Clemson is definitely going to – I mean, it's going to be Alabama-Clemson in my opinion, and they're going to give Alabama a run for it, for sure.
Well, it's not just that, like, they've only played 6 games and they've played 11. It's the fact that Clemson has played teams like UNC, Notre Dame twice, like like Miami, these ACC schools that are actually somewhat competent, and then we have Ohio State, who's played Northwestern
and struggled,
and that's it.
Versus them, Justin Fields looked like a Division II quarterback.
They did play Indiana when Indiana was top.
No, Indiana. Okay, Indiana was I think 9 when they played. You're right. Yeah. Where's Indiana now?
Indiana was a top 10 team when they played. I don't know. All I know is just I think the game's going to go like this. I bet, because it's going to be an emotional game, you're going to see more penalties out of this game than any other college bowl game this year.
Even going back to last year when these two teams played. Yeah, even going back to last year when these two teams played. I think it was the Ohio State player got called for targeting or something, which by all accounts, yeah, I do agree with all Ohio State when they say that was a bad call. That was 100% a bad call and definitely not targeting. But at the same time, you know, you gotta play where the chips fall. So
right. Yeah, it doesn't matter when
losing one player shouldn't completely alter your entire game. Now I understand he's a good player, but
yeah, it doesn't matter when Justin Fields throws a pick in the end zone at the end of the game trying to make something happen. You know, a game comes out, but I think the game's gonna come close. I think Clemson wins. I don't think Clemson covers though. I don't. I think it's.
I think there's a slight chance they cover, but I don't. I don't think
Clemson wins 31-27.
I don't think that Ohio State can hang with them. I really don't. And I know that Northwestern has a really good pass defense, but Justin Fields looked like dog shit. He threw for 143 yards on like 17 completions. That's Lamar Jackson numbers. Like
it was bad.
Hey, this will circle back around.
This comes back way. Trust me, we have a whole thing on Ohio State quarterbacks.
I love Justin Fields.
That's fine. You can.
That's
all right. With all of that covered. We will talk about the championship game next time on next week's episode. I got there. All right, get off my ass.
Nope, on it, in it.
Are we all in agreement though? It's Bama and Clemson. I mean, I think we all agree, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know who I'm going to pick between them, to be honest.
I'm taking Ohio State.
I'm taking Bama.
Straight up money line. I mean,
Bama looks too good this year.
I'm taking Clemson.
I'm taking Clemson too.
You like Dabo though, and I don't.
I love Alabama.
I love Dabo.
How's he?
Dabo's a great coach.
Can't stand
him. If Dabo didn't have such a good salary in college football ranks, he'd be an NFL coach by now.
He's also making a lot of money.
You know how much?
You know what? No, Pete Carroll retire. Let him and Russell Wilson go be together. That way, I can at least hate just one
Mr. Unlimited
team.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
Mr. Unlimited.
9.3 million. what the highest paid coach in the NFL is John Gruden at $10 million a year, I think, right? Believe so.
Did Gruden get was it a 10-year, $10 million?
I mean, it's hard for
John
Dabo Swinney
Gruden
to suck because he gets all these good players that want to come and play for him at Clemson because they're going to be on the grandest stage of them all. So
well, that's why Saban never went back to the NFL after his Miami Dolphin thing, because he gets paid handsomely and everyone wants to come play for Alabama.
yeah,
Right.
it's a win-win.
Correct. It's like, oh, could I set records and be arguably the greatest college coach of all time, or go coach the 8-8 Dolphins again?
Right.
I feel like one outweighs one there.
They're 10-5.
I'm talking back when Nick Saban was the coach of the Dolphins. I'm pretty sure that his best record with them was 8-8.
10-5 without a starting QB. Couldn't beat me.
No, they got a pitcher, they got a starter and a closer, dude. That's all. Dolphins got it figured out. They're running that baseball analytics. No, they're running the baseball analytics, dog. All right.
2021
Let's talk about this though, because this, as Cade mentioned, this is going to affect some of these bowl games where players are sitting out of bowl games to both avoid injury and train for the upcoming NFL draft. I just want to get everyone's thoughts on that because I have my own opinions, but I'd like to hear you guys first.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep mine short and sweet.
Doubt it.
There has to be some type of incentive for these players to play. I mean, it doesn't make sense unless you're in the national championship to have, that on your resume or be a part of that experience to play in any other bowl game. I mean, players, college kids, especially, I was a college kid 5 years ago. If you see a big check in the future, why are you going to risk getting hurt for a measly bowl game that you're not even going for a national title for? So, I mean, in this case, I don't mind it. I understand. There's no incentive. You don't play players, so, why play? It doesn't make any sense for them if they're going to the NFL.
I think it, depending on what type of player you are. I mean, it's important for majority of the players to play the bowl games because it shows off their talents because it's on majority of the time national TV. Unless you're playing in the, electrical cord championship. I don't know. Just looked down. I looked down at my socket, and that's what I came up with. So, I want to trademark that. I want to trademark that now.
There you go.
But with the fact is, if you're a good enough player, and you don't play in it, I get it. Especially if you're a player that gets beat up a lot. If you're a type of player that gets beat up a lot in the games, I get that. But you gotta have some pride. I mean, where's your pride? Especially if you're a guy that's been there 3 years, 4 years, you're a senior, you're gonna want to play that game. Like, I would want to play that game. You're out there with your brothers, your family. I don't know. It's tough. I get it, but then at the same time, I don't. Like, it just depends on the player for me. It really does.
No, that's fair.
For me, the way I look at it is every person that steps at Division I, I'm not going to say Division II, Division I college campus has aspirations of playing in the NFL. Majority of them, right? Majority of them.
I mean, that's the idea.
If they're not,
right.
then they're not competitors.
They're not competitors, right? So, in my opinion, the way I look at it is, I'll take UNC's situation because I just read and talk about it a lot. Javonte Williams, and he's an All-American, second team All-American running back. The only thing that can happen from this bowl game is his draft stock gets worse. That's the only thing that can happen. It's not going to get better. They have so much film over him the last year of how is his draft stock going to get that much better? It has a lot better chance of getting worse than better. So in my opinion, and I feel like everybody that stands in those locker rooms, they all understand, hey, you got a chance to go get the bag, run and go get it, go get the bag, secure the check. And the reason why I say that is because the guy standing beside him's I would do the same thing, because the amount of money separation from a first round draft pick to a fourth or fifth round draft pick is astronomical. It's ridiculous.
It's stupid. I think the NFLPA has something in there where first rounders can only they have to make X amount. It's not
right.
Oh, you're a first round draft pick and you're only going to make $500,000. It's
right.
No, they have to get paid a certain amount that is pretty good.
Right. Exactly. So someone like Javonte Williams, who's probably not a first round draft pick, he might be a second. It doesn't matter. If he tears his ACL, he can't do workouts. He can't go to the combine. Like, he can meet with teams and do that, but then he can't do any of the physical pro days, right? Now he could be a 4th or 5th round pick, and he just lost millions of dollars. No shot. Go secure the bag. You already put all the time and effort you have into that university. You don't owe them anything. You owe them absolutely nothing. Go play in the National Football League and represent the UNC brand or whatever college brand for the rest of your life. And that's all you need to do.
I don't think I'm allowed to drink alcohol.
While
Or
huffing
taking
inhalers.
Probably not.
With
no.
this specific one. And I am. And I kid you not that there's some stuff happening to me right now.
I was gonna say you look a little high right now.
Yes.
All right, so my take on this is kind of, I would say a combination of everyone's, where I agree with Evan, like, go get your bag, go get your money. Like, you know, it ultimately, your incentive to play in college is to be a student human athlete. Student and human come first, so get your education, you know, whatever. Ultimately, the athlete part to the universities comes second. So, yeah. We understand that, oh, you're going to sit out, you know, you're going to progress your career. Maybe down the line you come back to our university, you know, and you end up getting your degree or something or whatever. Like Jair Alexander, he left early from Louisville, and he, during his rookie year, continued to get his degree. To me, it's like playing in one of these New Year's Six games, like Cal said, like, I think it's important to show yourself off, because what if, you know, you don't get invited to a pro day? And I'm not talking about the megastars. I'm just talking about people that just don't play in the game because they don't feel like it. Now, again, the Electric Socket Bowl, I get. Like, if you want to sit that out, but you're like the best player on, you know, Boise State, sure, I can understand that.
That's
To
on
me,
ABC,
though,
by the way.
I think you need to play in these games, because, like, you're playing what the committee has labeled as the peak of the competition you can play for this season. So if you're a player and you've been having a great year and you don't play in this game, it's like, okay, so were you scared? Did you not want to hurt yourself? Like, why didn't you put yourself out there against the highest competition you've had yet this year, and you just took a backseat and you said,
It's also a slap in the face to the thousands and millions of people, the players, college athletes, that could be in that spot.
No, there's
that could be in that
that
spot.
and
That
also
would kill to be in that spot.
But there's also the thing, like you mentioned, Cal, with the sense of camaraderie and the brotherhood aspect of thing. It's like, okay, I get you want to go get the bag, but, like, dude, we just worked our asses off all year to get to this point, and now you're bouncing. Like, I understand you're looking out for yourself, but, like, do we mean nothing to you? To me, like, that doesn't set well, but I understand it. So,
I think it's player-based, like you said.
Yeah.
It depends on the player.
If the third string lineman's sitting out, yeah, no one's going to care. Like, whatever.
Right.
But, like, if it's
a case by case.
No, it is. In college, specifically. My opinion on college athletes sitting out is a case-by-case one, where it's like, all right, man, I get it. Yeah, it sucks because I wanted to watch you play, or, you know, your teammates really, really needed you and wanted you there. But, yeah, in professional sports, I'm just going to say I have a totally different opinion. In college, though, yeah, I'm 100% where it's like, yeah, if you need to sit out, if you think that you could get injured, or, you know, something feels off, yeah, dude, I totally get it. Like, you go get your money, because ultimately, if you do leave college early, you get hurt in this bowl, well, then you just really screwed yourself out of quite literally a livelihood. So I get that one.
It comes like straight off the lot. 300 cash when it came with the blood in it. Yeah,
you good, Cal?
Yeah.
All right.
No, I'm with that 100%.
Yeah, I just think that, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I don't always agree with it. With that being said, let's hop to professionals sitting out of games and start talking about the NBA. We've been back to the NBA for a week, and players are already sitting out, and in a shortened season nonetheless. So, who wants to take a crack at that one?
I'll crack the egg.
All right.
So, same thing when it comes. Yeah, one of those. Same thing it comes to me when it comes to every player is different. You got guys like KD who's coming off of a drastic injury. Guys like LeBron who needs a walker out there, even though he's the best player in the league still. Guys like that who, either coming off an injury or are in their better half of their career, just deserve and need that time. Now, guys that are just say like I don't know if he's done it already, but even guys like James Harden or anyone who's at the top level right now at their careers and don't have a reason to sit out, I think is wrong. Now, I will say there's no fans at the games because before I used the excuse of, those people pay good money to come see you play. They pay, especially.
All right, let's set the bar at fans are attending games. Fans are going to 100% going to be at games. We're not going to talk COVID ball.
Unless you have a medical reason or a family reason, it's like work. It is your job. You should be at the game. You should be playing. But like I said, if you do have a family reason, someone passes away, someone is sick, if you have an injury or something along those lines, even like KD who's coming off of an injury, I think it's okay. But with fans in the stadiums, even with fans that aren't in the arenas or anything like that, they should be playing every game. It's their job. They should be out there. They get paid to do that. That's their job.
I have two examples that nullify everyone else's examples. Brett Favre and Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, 100%.
They played games.
Brett Favre is crazy. Isaiah Thomas is wild.
Well, his dad was only like 55 when he died.
Yeah.
And he was his coach from literal Pee-wee.
Mm-hmm.
Focus camera.
You got it.
No, to me, it's just, if there are going to be fans in the stands, to me, you are getting. J.J. Watt literally summarized everything I'm about to say in his post-game interview after this last game. If you are a paid athlete to play a professional sport, you show up, period. Mm-hmm. Barring, yes, if you have a medical issue where you're dying, or, if a family member passed, I get it. Other than that, if you're too old, retire. If your body can't handle it, retire. Mm-hmm. There is no reason to me that you can't play. Kawhi Leonard, last year, sitting 3 games in a row, playing 2. Sitting 3 games in a row, playing 2. That is unacceptable. If you are healthy.
Just imagine if you did that at your job.
I wouldn't have a job.
Exactly.
That's why players came out at the end of the year and said that the team chemistry was off. They felt like they weren't being treated the same.
Well, no shit, they weren't being treated the same. Yeah. One got to take a week off, and the other had to play for 15 straight days.
Okay, Kawhi Leonard has a chronic knee issue that he's been dealing with his whole career. Kawhi Leonard played 57 games out of I think he played 57 games out of how many games he played? 70, pretty much 70. So he missed 13 games. I'm not mad about Kawhi Leonard missing 13 games. I am not mad about that. Personally, if I was a fan and I'm going to the game, that sucks.
No, you pay to see these people because they're the superstars.
Right.
So you show up for your job.
When it comes to the monetary value of how much money they make for how much they do, it's. Yeah, in my mind, in that way, you show up. There's no doubt. You show up when you can. But, when you're talking on a franchise, a management level, Kevin Durant, if anyone complains about Kevin Durant missing a game, you obviously don't know the extent of an injury of an Achilles. Yeah. You don't know the extent of an injury.
100%.
If you think KD is oh, that's bullshit that KD's sitting out games.
No. I get KD's, but he has been off for a year and 7 months as well.
Well, Kyrie's had injuries a lot throughout his young.
Yeah, Kyrie's had a lot of injuries.
So has everyone else, though. I mean, we're talking about sitting.
Gordon Hayward.
Injuries, they're not the only ones who've had bad injuries in the NBA.
But Kyrie Irving isn't the only one making that decision. You know that, right? Management is saying, "Hey, we'll lose this game to give them they have their legs in April and May."
Now, if that's the decision, then
that's the third game in the season. It just it was
a back-to-back though. They played a back-to-back.
Yeah, I see that. I have it right here.
There's going to be a lot of back-to-backs this season.
I'm saying if they do it every once in a while.
I understand if their boss, their GM, or their coach tells them.
No, my boss tells me to take 3 weeks off for a mental break.
You're doing it.
I get it.
100%. 100%. But if you
It's not like Kyrie Irving's the only one making that decision. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But
But
okay,
there's no hundred.
here's another issue I have with this. LeBron last year, he took off for, physical upkeep just because he's played, 10 NBA finals in a row.
Right.
But my problem is, if you're going to take the night off, you still show up professionally. Act like you could possibly go in a game. You're not sitting on the sideline sucking down wine and walking through the tunnel with a bottle of wine. Like, to me, those optics are horrible. And it could be any player. It could be any player. It doesn't matter if it's LeBron. That's just the one that comes to my head.
I mean,
it could be any player.
LeBron played 67 games last year, so
Yeah.
I mean,
It's still the optics. It's still the optics of it. Even the year before, he was doing this too.
Well, no, you show up, you go through pregame, you do everything, because there's fans that come watch that, right? You're still there, and then you're done. Like,
I go to pregame stuff, and I'm a 26-year-old because it's like, oh, hey, if I get courtside seats, maybe I dap up one of the players. If you're walking down the tunnel in your suit with a bottle of wine, like, yeah, I obviously can't expect that to happen.
My biggest debate is, like, my biggest issue is what is wrong with treating a rest game like a preseason game? Like, what is wrong with getting on the court, playing a quarter and a half, and then just dipping? You know, maybe like, all right, guys, like, I'm resting this game. I'm gonna take it easy, like a preseason game. What, like, I'm just asking a question, like, what's the difference? Like, really, what is the difference?
Because go ahead, Evan. Go ahead.
If you're a player that plays at a high level, like let's just say KD or LeBron, you play a quarter and a half and you have 20 points, and the game's you're losing by 3. Are you really going to be like, well, I'm going to rest for the rest of the game?
Well, yeah,
like,
because your boss said a minute. Like, that's my other thing. Put a minute limit on somebody. They do that when players come back. Hey, you get to play 20 minutes tonight.
Option.
Where do you want your 20 minutes?
Right. That's another option. And guess what? If Steve Nash ends up sitting there and says, "Hey, at halftime, hey KD, do you want to play the rest of the game, or do you kind of want to chill?" Like,
No, if the Nets are up 16 or 20 at halftime, KD, you want to play? KD says no. All right, cool.
All right, yeah. Like, I don't know. There's two ways of looking at it, but
to me, in a professional setting, I think you show up. I don't think you take time off.
Case again, though.
Like I said, it's your job.
That's just it. That's it to me. It's your job.
Yeah, that's all case.
We can all sit in here and talk about it, but it's the team chemistry, like you said. Where
I'll sit here while 3 of us drink alcohol and you drink a Mountain Dew. Yeah, and we'll tell professional athletes how to take care of their body.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to take it. We can take it and look at it from a logical perspective. From a logical perspective that, like, listen, hey, this makes sense for late game this year, but how their teammates are going to respond, you don't know.
My body's a temple.
No, I just think it's.
Yeah, you need to lock in, bud.
It's a sense of professionalism to me. To me, that's the thing. It's a sense of professionalism. At the end of the day, I think you show up for your job. And again, optically, I think just show up for your job. Like, yeah, even if you know you're not playing, like, hey, management said I'm not playing today. Go out and give them hell, guys. You still show up and you're on the sideline and everything. Like, to me, it's just be there, be present. Don't just get drunk mid-game.
Yeah,
sorry,
didn't see
pre-game.
that, and I'm glad I didn't, because that's just ridiculous.
Oh no, it was 2 years ago when the Lakers were, like, far and away out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, LeBron just showed up.
LeBron was
playoff. He hit the switch.
Yeah, he hit the switch to off-season mode real quick. No, he just showed up in his suit with carrying a bottle of wine,
30,
and then pre-game he's just out there just hammering wine. It's like, all right, so you never intended on playing tonight.
Every day I spend my time.
With this being said, and this being the conversation point, we got to hop into some first week overreactions for the NBA, because we haven't even touched on that yet. Well, lead us off then.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to hear some of these.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, let's hear it.
A current undefeated team in the Eastern Conference right now will win a playoff series. Those teams are either Orlando, Cleveland, Atlanta, or Indiana, and I'm going with Cleveland. just for the mere fact of their backcourt is sex land. Like,
That's yeah.
come
Good
on.
nickname.
Like,
Colin Sexton?
Colin Sexton and Darius Garland. Their nicknames
Sex
Sex
Land.
Land.
Okay.
yep.
Mhm.
Come on.
Jesus Christ.
Come on.
I was
That
so
name alone-
confused for a second.
That name alone is going to vault them to a first round playoff win. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to, take the Eastern Conference. But one of those 4 teams will win a playoff series, and I'm going with Cleveland.
See, I like Indiana.
AKA Believeland.
There you go.
I have Atlanta. If you're gonna out of those 4, I'm picking Atlanta.
Yeah, I
Sex
like
land,
Indiana.
bro.
Yeah,
Land.
yeah, but Atlanta completely revamped the roster. Like they have Gallinari coming off the bench, or he might be starting now. Actually, Gallinari starts. You know who took a big step and who's possibly, here's a little bit of an outlandish take, could be the best player in last year's draft. Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish took a huge step this year, and the kid's a stud. He is going to be really good. Like DeAndre Hunter's really good. Kevin Huter's really good. I mean,
You got
Trey
Trey.
Young. I'm not even talking about Trey Young and John Collins yet. And Clint Capella, like
Trey Young
that
needs to
team-
shave his head.
that team, no joke, is 100% a 5 or 6 seed at best, and they could 100% upset a higher ranked team. If you're going to talk about those 4.
Yeah, give me
Sex
Indiana.
land.
I'm still going with Indiana. I like that we're all on
That's
a
fair.
different train here.
Yep. You want to hear my second one, or do you want someone to go next?
No, I would love to
Okay.
hear your second one. At this point, I'm all in on it.
You'll like this one. Joker will carry the Nuggets to the Western Conference Final, but will not be enough for the Lakers.
So you have the Lakers getting the West Conference Finals and the Denver Nuggets.
And Joker's going to
Lakers.
carry them. Joker's going to carry them.
Does that contradict what you did? You say the Lakers are going to be in the finals last week?
No, yeah. I'm saying the Lakers are going to get to the finals. Like, Joker's not going to be enough.
I didn't
for
know
the
if you said the Lakers were going to get to the finals.
Yeah, no, I have
Jamal
the Lakers
Murray
and Nets.
averaging
I
like
have the Lakers and
35
Nets.
points last year wasn't enough, so I hope Joker doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I'm saying-
okay, well, I'm a springboard here.
Okay, bounce.
Because my first overreaction is Joker averages a triple-double and gets the MVP.
I like that one. But,
I'm telling you right
Okay.
now. I said
That
last
makes
week,
sense.
I'm contradicting
Yeah,
what
that
I
makes sense.
said.
I like that.
great
I'm
fantasy pickup.
contradicting what I said last week, where a center never wins it. But if he averages a triple-double, you give it to that big man. You give it to him.
Yeah.
Great fantasy pickup.
Cal, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. Like Joker in the first 3 games? Yeah, they have. I think they're 2-1. My God, has looked really good, and I think is almost averaging a triple-double through the first 3 games.
He passes it really, really well.
He's
I mean,
really
it's
good
just-
at that. Him and Wilt Chamberlain only centers with 18 assists.
Yeah, which is crazy.
No,
That many? No, I'm saying like the amount of years of basketball
With a period of like
Yeah.
60 years.
And
Yeah.
and the amount
Yeah,
of good
yeah.
centers there've been in the league that
Dude,
there's only been 2.
But you gotta understand, for the I'll say the last 6-7 years, centers were not point forwards. Like they weren't moving the ball. They were literally
I'm saying
going
like
basket.
one off though.
Joker's
Like,
arguably
one-off
the best
guy.
point guard in the entire league. The point guard brings it across, they toss it to him at the top of the key, and then he just starts directing people where to go,
Yeah,
and then
he
just...
initiates. He initiates the offense.
No, the entire offense runs through Nikola Jokic, and it's
Pat Mahomes
it's
it.
awesome to watch.
Right. Very good at basketball.
Phenomenal. Yeah, that's
Pat
my
Mahomes it.
overreaction. Joker averages a triple-double and gets MVP.
Homer.
Hey, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
I'll go. My overreaction is that Kevin Durant is top 2 in the NBA, and he ain't 2.
It's just such... I
Okay.
can't.
Listen to
Dude, I
this.
can't.
A guy doesn't play basketball for, I think they said it was 19 months. All right, 19 months he does not play
Yeah, a
basketball.
year and 7 months.
Okay, he comes out and he scores 22 points in 23 minutes of basketball. So first off, like, holy shit, like, how, right? And then not only that, but he follows it up with a couple other great performances, shooting over 60%. Okay, he's shooting over 50% from 3 right now. Okay, and he's averaging 27 points per game. Call me crazy, But if a guy doesn't play basketball for 19 months and
Crazy.
he comes out, it puts those type of numbers up. I don't even want to know what I just missed out on. Like, I just missed out on 19 months of him possibly being the best player in the league. And everyone kind of slept on him because, like, Luka's ascending. LeBron's obviously still there. There's a lot of Giannis, obviously.
There we go. I was waiting for quite arguably the best player in the league right
Yeah,
now.
right. Everyone wants to talk about that. But if you're asking me, Kevin Durant in the playoffs when he tore his Achilles, if you were to look up his stats, I don't know him off the top of my hands, but I'm pretty sure he was averaging over 30 per game. Evan, will you look this up for me?
Evan's the stats guy.
Yeah, Kevin Durant, 2019.
Looks like Joe Paterno today.
Stats. Look that up for me.
I know as well. He knew too.
But anyways.
No, we're not doing this. This is not the place.
No. But anyways, this dude is an absolute
What
assassin.
am I looking up?
Kevin
Joe
Durant.
Paterno.
Kevin Durant, postseason stats 2019.
I don't know. To me, there's just way too many established people at the moment. Like, I'd put
Listen,
KD top
bro,
5.
Hard to compare his stats from 2019 when he's a different player now because he's had a major surgery.
No, he's not. He's showing he's not. He's literally
He's played 3 games so far this year, Cade.
He's methodically going out and scoring 27 a night after a torn ACL. A torn Achilles.
Evan, that's what the segment
Methodically,
is called.
like literally no effort. No effort.
Overreactions.
No effort.
It's overreactions for a reason, Evan.
Shut up, Cal.
I still have a tan line from golfing this year. I just
You
realized
commie.
that.
Do I need to just minutes per game?
Look, to me,
What am I looking for?
Giannis is
His
still
per
the
game.
best. I'll put LeBron at like 3. I'm putting Luka second just because of what Luka can do. I'm putting Nikola Jokic ahead of KD.
Yo, no.
That's cap, Ty.
That's cap.
I think I might. More.
I don't know.
Other than points,
You look it up when I'm going to say my piece
assists
here
and
real quick.
rebounds.
This is dumb
KD
hard.
gets bent over by Nikola Jokic.
Then look it up then. Don't tell me to do it. All right, so my overreaction. The Clippers have played, 3 games so far this year. Beat the Lakers, close game. They beat the Nuggets. That's another good win. But they lost by 51 to the Mavericks without Kawhi Leonard.
A record in the shot clock era.
Record in the shot clock era. I think Paul George is one of the most overrated players in the NBA.
Playoff
P
P
is back. Pandemic P is back. 4 of 13 from the field. Actually embarrassing. They're not a top 3 team in the West.
What about the game against the Lakers, Ev?
I said he played well. He scored 33 points. He had 14. But
It was one
It's
game.
an
He had one
it's
that
an
the whole team
overreaction.
played bad.
it's an overreaction, Cade. Pandemic P's back. 4 of
No,
13.
I'm
lost
with
by
you on that.
51 to the Mavericks.
I'm with you on that.
51.
I'll ride that
Can't-
train
can't
all
do
the
it-
way to
can't do
the
it with Kawhi.
station.
Yeah.
All right.
Can't do it
All
without
right, listen.
Kawhi.
Make sure
In
you're not getting on the wrong one,
okay,
though.
just to go back to the KD thing, because I just got it up. In 12 games, okay, he played 36.8 minutes. He shot 51%. He shot 43.8% from the 3. He, free throw percentage was 90%. And his points were 32.3. He had, total rebounds was 4.9 and then 4.5 with 1 steal, 1 block a game. And 12 games in the playoffs. So his last 15 games and 3 after a torn Achilles, he's top 2 and he ate 2. That's my overreaction.
I feel like Nikola Jokic averages in every category more than him.
Who does he play for?
I'll tell you what, he does not. Nikola Jokic does not shoot 43% from 3.
It's actually pretty close, I think.
Hold on.
I don't think-
Because he
I-
shoots like 3 a game.
I can look up that one. Nikola Jokic.
He shoots 43 point. Kevin Durant shot 43.8.
in 12 games.
They were only going to play like 16 if he wouldn't have got hurt.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, they were going to sweep. I guarantee you right now that the Toronto Raptors would not be an NBA champion.
Right now he's shooting 42.9 through 3 games.
Let's go!
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
See,
that's what I
his-
thought. I'm
his
telling you,
last-
put some respect on the Serbian's
Whoa.
name.
Oh, wait.
Who does he play for?
Okay. Wait, cap. 2019, 2020 entire season, Kevin Durant was nowhere near this number because I know just from looking at his stats. Jokic shot 31%.
Which
Yeah,
is not
and Kevin
bad for a
Durant.
center.
No, it's
He's
not
a
bad.
center!
It's not bad. No, that's not bad. No.
2017, 2018, he shot 40%. So, depending on it, he attempted 3.7 a game. I don't know what. That's kind of a lot, isn't it?
That's a ton for a
That's
center.
decent
Not a
average.
lot. 3.7 is not a lot.
For a center?
For a center.
No, Karl Anthony Towns probably averages more shots from 3 than that.
Cat's trash.
Well, I'm about
Whoa.
to fact check that.
Whoa. Go ahead, fact check it. I guarantee he shoots more than 3.
Three point-
Cat?
Well, you shoot
3.7, that's 4. You round up.
Okay, we'll give him 4.
Last season, he attempted what?
That's not a shot.
3 PA? 3 points, 3 goals,
3
point field
PA
goals attempted
is
per-
3 points attempted.
Bro, Karl Anthony Towns attempted 7.9 last year.
Yeah.
4.6 the
He
year
shoots a lot of
before.
Okay, what's his shooting
3.5.
percentage? Wait, what's his shooting percentage though?
41%, 40%,
Yeah, pretty good.
42%.
That's
yeah,
really
he's
good.
pretty
Okay.
good. Yeah, I was going to say, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Nikola
Is he
Jokic
better
is
than
better in
Jokic?
every other aspect though.
Oh, I
He's
love
Steph Curry.
Incomparable.
Better.
He's a Steph Curry of
Karl
centers.
Anthony Towns in 2019-20 averaged 26.5.
Yep.
With 51% from the field,
He's
41% from 3.
That's
He
good.
averaged 10.8 total rebounds and 4
That's
Shout out.
good.
Shout out Chris Post.
Nah.
That's
to,
good.
To,
We're
to be
comparing
fair,
years here. I don't know. Cat could be.
no, Cat's right up there. I've never
Oh, yeah,
argued
Cat's
that.
good.
Cat is a really,
But-
really good center.
I just want to get back to my point that Kevin Durant is top 2. He ain't 2.
We've heard
That's my
it. We know
overreaction.
that's your point, Cade.
That's my
Jesus.
overreaction.
All right.
Just
next?
some breaking news. It's actually not super breaking, but the Bucks had 16 first half threes against the Heat today. Made threes. That's a
That's
lot.
gotta be
How much are they up right now?
That's a
That's
lot
what
of
losing to the
threes.
Knicks do you. They lost to the Knicks on Sunday. They ain't happy about it.
Like, it's a franchise record. I think it might be an NBA record.
I have a 40-cent parlay for all the games tonight to win $2,000. So,
Let's go.
yeah.
Hey, at halftime of the
Oh, 40 cents. What did you do?
guys,
I took every single game spread.
I love
Okay.
that.
How many games were there?
Like
A
all of them.
lot.
Oh,
At halftime,
yeah.
Bucks Heat 82-51.
Wow. Talk about the over.
That is wild. All right,
Did you take the Bucks?
Yes.
I didn't bet on that. That's the smart bet then. All right,
Usually
so
is.
we're gonna circle back to something we were just talking about here, but it's going to apply for the NFL in Week 17. Setting players. This is just setting players for Week 17 when you have either a playoff spot locked up, you have the first seed locked up, whatever it might be. What are your guys' thoughts on setting players in the NFL?
Okay, well, I'll take this one. I absolutely love that we are sitting players because we've played so many
Not
games
talking
in a
about
row.
Steelers, talking about in general.
In general? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you homer.
Well, I would say that lots of people, we can use the same logic. People play a lot of money. There's only 16 games a year. Going to be 17 next year. There are a lot less games in the NBA that we compare this to, and I think everyone should be playing if we're using that logic. But if we're using the logic of resting players,
To me, the Steelers are an
this year
exception
the
this
Steelers
year.
need it the most.
The Steelers
I'm
are an
glad we get
exception
it.
this year.
Yeah, I'm glad Ben gets a week off where he can.
But Evan, we're not
Whatever.
talking about just like week 3. We're talking about like the last week. So like say the last couple games of the NBA season
Well,
and they start sitting players because they already got locked up the number 1 or number 2 seed, then I 100% agree. But we're not talking like if you said week 3 and we're sitting players, then yeah, 100%.
we're doing that. Or,
Yeah,
what's,
we're talking about
what's the
week-
question here?
week
Because
17.
I thought
Week 17.
are we doing week 17 or are we doing,
Yes,
doing
only-
throughout the season?
Only Week 17.
Week 17.
When you either have a playoff spot locked up or the first seed locked up or anything.
Yeah.
Playoffs are guaranteed
You
at
idiot.
this point. For these
don't know
teams
where I
sitting
was wrong
players.
there, Cal.
I mean, you're saying that if
Make sure we
since
cut this out.
the Kansas City Chiefs have the number 1 seed locked in,
No,
you think
dude.
that Patrick Mahomes should play no matter what because of fans? The last game of the season.
No, no.
Okay, because that's exactly what you contradicted from your statement before.
Okay.
Yeah, my
well,
opinion varies on
If we're doing
literally
just
all
week
3 of
17,
these.
let me clarify myself.
Yes,
Players need to rest before the playoffs.
thank you. All right, I agree then.
Okay, see, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go.
All right.
I'll go. Because I completely disagree with what Evan
Yeah,
said.
no, I do too.
100% disagree with what Evan said, and I'll tell you why. The last 2 years, the Baltimore Ravens, last year, the Baltimore Ravens sat their players. They played, they had the bye week. So Lamar Jackson didn't play football for 2 weeks. Played Tennessee at home, and Tennessee wiped them off the field. Okay?
Chargers did the same thing.
Chargers did the same thing and got wiped off the field by the Patriots, right?
No. I'm saying the Chargers did the same thing to the Ravens.
Oh, yeah, and the year before. They did it the year before, right. So, in my opinion, especially for a team like the Chiefs or a team like Green Bay, I know Green Bay has to play their
Yeah,
players.
I was going to say, Aaron's jacked to play the Bears.
Right, but, like, traditionally with the
Love
1 and
Soldier
2
Field.
seeds, I 100% disagree with it, because if Patrick Mahomes doesn't play on Sunday, he doesn't play for 2 weeks. I'm not
okay.
actually 3, because you got to think 1 whole week's this week, then the whole week of the wild card week.
No, it's 21 days.
It's 21 days. I am no hell am I sitting and resting my best player for 21 days.
I think
No
it'll be okay.
shot. No,
I think it'll be okay.
Okay, out of all the players, probably Patrick Mahomes is gonna be the one that's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I
But
think it'll be all
what
right.
I'm saying is I am no way in hell resting all my players and then going out in the first half of a home playoff game and playing a clunking first half because you're getting your lungs back, and then turn around and lose the game at home in the first round. I am not doing that. I 100% play this week. I have a 2-week rest. How much more time do I need to rest than 2 weeks?
And that's
What
my
about-
point.
What about
How much time?
What happens
I'm
if a
the
player gets
Steelers-
hurt? Who are you going to answer if you're a coach?
Dude, the Steelers. Listen, a player can get hurt the first possession of a playoff game.
But at least he played in the playoff game, though. He was ready for it.
Okay, so then you can't use that same logic when speaking about Carson Wentz's injury prone, because Carson Wentz got hurt in the first possession of a playoff game. So you can't say that. Like you
What?
can't say one.
he
after
shouldn't
the
have
other.
dove. He shouldn't have dove there.
I'm saying is you literally play because you want to keep the momentum going. You play because you want to talk about camaraderie. I think being a united team is the most important part going into the playoffs. So if you're a guy sitting and you got the offensive line still going out and playing, what the hell? Like,
Okay.
why would
What
I
about
completely disagree.
What about the Pittsburgh Steelers?
The Pittsburgh Steelers should be all playing on Sunday.
See, okay.
In my
Okay,
opinion.
didn't you just mention for college too that if they had a chance to get
These
the
are different
bag-
things. These are different things.
They're different things. They don't get paid. What do you mean? Like, Big Ben's already got paid his salary.
Yeah, but what about Big Ben?
He
though?
already made
Like,
his money. Big Ben should be playing.
I don't think
He
so.
should play at least a half of football. There is no way Big Ben sits a full game. No shot.
He's gonna.
They've been struggling. The offense has
should.
been.
All right.
So you're
It's different. It's different for Big Ben because he's hurt. Like he's definitely his legs up. I don't know which one it is, but
both of them.
yeah.
JJ Watt. JJ Watt's quote: "If you can't stay healthy, retire."
All right.
End of
What?
story.
Real quick, let me hop
No.
in on this with my
That doesn't
opinion.
apply.
Real
Kevin
quick.
Durant.
Real quick.
It doesn't apply for this at all.
Kevin
about
Durant's
Kevin-
been healthy
okay,
except
go
one
ahead, yeah.
thing. Let me go,
Yeah,
though.
He
Stay
got
healthy,
one
though.
injury.
Can't stay healthy, though.
This is a stupid statement.
All right. My take on this is Steelers, to me, are, yes, an exception. They had a week 4 bye. You set the guys, whatever, because they play in the wild card next week. I mean, they're not up for a bye. The Bills locked up the 2, correct?
No. Bills have to win for the 2. If the Bills lose and we win, we
No, the Bills locked up the 2.
I'm pretty sure the Bills
Because
locked
if
up
they-
the 2,
because if
or
they
else
lose-
they'd be
no,
playing starters.
If they lose and the Steelers win, then they're tied. They have the
No, they're
tiebreaker.
not. We have the same record right now.
But the Bills have the head-to-head with the
They have
Steelers.
the
But if
tiebreaker.
the Bills lose and we win, we have a better record.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
yeah.
because we're tied right now.
Yeah, they're tied.
We're
They're
both
both
12
11. They're both
We're both
12 and 3. Yeah.
If they
Then
lose,
why
they're
wouldn't-
going to be 12-4, and we're going to be 13-3.
Then, okay, never mind. Resting your starters is actually the dumbest thing ever.
I
The
agree.
Steelers shouldn't be resting their starters.
No.
I don't know why
if
they
the 2
would.
seed is I mean, I guess either way, the 2 or 3 seed this year doesn't get a bye.
Difference is the Bills are playing. I think that they're not Dolphins.
Dolphins.
They're going to play the Dolphins back-to-back weeks. By the way, there's a chance they play the Dolphins.
Potential. I mean, you guys could play the Browns back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
Right now we're right now. If it started right now, we play the Ravens.
Correct. And the Bills would play the Browns. The Bills would play the Brownies.
Browns. Yep.
I'm playing for home field advantage. Like I don't understand why you would
Yeah,
sit.
you play for a higher seed. I get that. You play for a higher seed.
makes no
So
sense.
if that's the case, then yeah, I'm not resting my starters if I'm the Bills or the Steelers because I want the higher.
I kind of want to see Mason Rudolph go up against Jason Garrett.
We're not. Yeah, that's not what we're talking about though.
I mean,
the Chiefs.
Who cares?
Okay, to your
Who
point,
cares?
the Chiefs absolutely should not rest their starters. Shouldn't do it.
Nope.
For a point of reference and actual historical data, the 2011 Packers, fresh off a Super Bowl win, scoring 31 points. They just won they won their last game scoring 31 points. Both of them get rested. Okay? What is it? They both go 14-1. Hang on, I got it right here. They both go 14-1. Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes this year. They get the number 1 seed. They rest their starters in week 17. Aaron Rodgers went one and done.
You got mollywopped.
It's the exact same thing that they're doing with the Chiefs right now.
the Chiefs haven't been that dominant.
No, they haven't won in 2
dominant.
months. They haven't won by more than 10 points.
Right. So like how I just don't and I'm saying for the Steelers offense has been
Well, you said they're 1-3 in
Ghost
December.
yeah, they're ghost town. They're 1-3 in December. In my
They
mind,
just learned
I
how to
play-
replay football. I think it might not be a bad thing for at least a half. A half.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way that I don't play.
I think you run them a
At all.
half. I
At
think you
least.
keep the players out there for a half. And yes,
Yeah,
if they
that's
get
fair.
injured, all right, cool. The same potential for
It
injury
happens.
is
It's
also
football. It could have happened
to me, it can't be justified. The Packers have to play because they're vying for the 1 seed. The entire NFC is playing. I don't think they're resting any starters because every 1 through 7 are up for rotation at this point.
Yep.
Except the Eagles. The Eagles are out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to me, it's just, again, it's a job. Now, again, weird season, no fans. I get it, to an extent when it comes to that thing, you show up for the fans, you play for the fans. But again, sitting in the NFL always does happen. So I do get that side of it.
Every year.
But I think if you have the first round bye, if you're the number 1 seed, like the Chiefs currently are, I think you go out and play at least a half. You don't just go 2.5, 3 weeks off. I think you play at least a half. Now,
Minimum.
if you're the say you're the 4 seed and you're the 4 seed, you cannot advance or go back and you're playing the wild card round, sure. But if you're the Steelers or Bills and they're both apparently resting their starters, I don't think you do that because to me seeding is important.
Are the Bills resting their starters? Did they come out and say that?
I'm pretty sure that Matt Barkley is starting.
So obviously we know they came out and said Big Ben is sitting.
No, yeah, Mason has announced the starter. I don't know if the Bills have or not, but I assume that the Bills are resting their starters. To me, if they're seeding based on it, I think that you play for that. But at the same time, in the Steelers' case, yeah, you haven't had a break in 13 weeks. I get it. But at the same time, if you're playing for seeding, you play for seeding.
But but the thing is though, it'd be different if the Pittsburgh Steelers were I would even say they'd be different if they won their last 2 games and they're okay, we're rolling, everything's good, and we're now gonna sit Big Ben for a game. Okay, but
if we're going off the record in December,
10 consecutive quarters. They were losing 10 consecutive quarters. They won the 3rd quarter this Sunday and the 4th quarter in the month of December. That's it. That's it. So in my opinion, if you're a coach, how do I sit there and say oh man, we got this stuff figured out, we got a game plan, we're going into the playoffs ready? You're not ready. You're not ready. You're not ready.
The Steelers' problem is too that they were letting Randy Fichtner call things instead of Big Ben, who was just going out there and going like this. It was Big Ben calling plays.
Yeah.
They came out and said
the
that.
last 2 quarters can be our game plan.
Okay, that's Big Ben calling a game plan for 4 quarters in the huddle on the fly.
Aaron Rodgers does it every week.
No, he.
Okay.
But
I will say it's a homer statement, but the way we played the last 2 quarters, that's a Super Bowl team. It's facts. We held them to 0 points and scored 24.
the Colts ran 5 times. They pulled an Atlanta Falcons. They ran 5 times in the second half.
They were scared.
Jonathan Taylor was averaging 6 yards a carry.
They were scared.
Frank Reich's really good at that up.
I think the Steelers are the 3rd or 4th best team in the AFC right now. Today. Third or fourth, yeah.
Who would you put over them? Obviously the Bills. Chiefs.
Yeah,
Bills
and
Bills
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Okay.
And
If you say Bills Chiefs, then that's it. I'm cool with it.
And they only beat the Titans by like 4, and that was like 8 weeks ago. And the Titans are probably playing better than they are right now.
W.
I mean, for a point of reference, the Jets have a better record in the month of December.
Yeah,
Well,
in the month of December, like the last month of football.
Loves the month of December. Just loves it.
It's
The month of January. January and February are the 2 most important months in football.
They are. You're right.
If you
Bill
don't get
Belichick's
there,
motto
it
is
don't
football
We're already
doesn't start
there,
until
though. We
after
were there back in,
Thanksgiving, and
like,
you guys are 1 and
September.
3. Just saying.
Listen, all I'm saying is 3 out of the 4 people here are going to be watching their teams on, playoff Saturday and Sunday. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and you watched the Eagles the last 3 years, so enjoy your time.
Watch not Carson Wentz play.
Okay. Anyways.
All right.
Cal takes a personal vendetta out of his team being 1 and 3 in December and calls him a Super Bowl team. But it's whatever.
Anyway.
It's okay. Anybody outside of Pittsburgh would be like, I don't know about that.
Boys, you're about to enjoy this next conversation. Cade, you're really going to enjoy it because it involves your division. Dwayne Haskins got cut after going to a strip club, doing a lot of just not captain type things.
Allegedly.
No, not allegedly. There's videos of him doing it.
Could have been time-stamped.
I don't think it is. The other thing is, that means that, is it Taylor Hinkie is starting for them because Alex Smith is still injured with a quad?
Great name. It's a great name.
Yeah, Smith is questionable.
Okay.
It's embarrassing.
It's absolutely wild that this dude, I think he was the 6th round pick. I believe so, the 6th round pick, is now cut from a team. He's now owed $8 million over the next 2 years. So even though that cap is all dead cap now, which isn't in the grand scheme of things, but with the cap falling, it does mean something. A massive decision to just completely wipe your hands of a first-round pick and eat dead cap for that reason. Like, you're straight up saying, like, no, this dude is 1, too much of a distraction, and 2, I don't think we can make him a starting quarterback in the NFL.
He's not a good football player.
So I mean, do we want to talk about this? Like, is it just Dwayne Haskins? Like, there's a lot of things here to be talked about because Dwayne Haskins went to a certain school.
He, in my opinion, has talent. If put in the right situation, could be good. I just feel like he's got talent, and off field aside, I feel like he could play somewhere. Now, there's a lot of really, really good starting quarterbacks in this league. Do I see him starting it anywhere right now? Probably not. But could he? Yes. Under the right system, under the right coaching? Yes. Ron Rivera, great coach. Very underrated coach.
I would say he's a very good coach, yeah.
Yes. But didn't coach him very well. So, I don't know. I just feel like
it's not Ron Rivera.
The right good opportunity.
No, he's not mature. He just does whatever he wants. He's how old is he? 21, 22?
I mean, this is going back to even his rookie year, though.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember when he won his first game and he was over on sidelines autographing shit and taking pictures with people instead of going out and taking the final kneel and they had to send Case Keenum out? Like, this isn't a one-time thing.
Yeah, the kid's all about himself, and he ruined his chance in the NFL. He won't start in another place.
I think I'm with you. I think he's
there
done.
Are second chances available.
I think you get second chances if you're talented enough. Like, for a very, very prominent example, Antonio Brown. I think that Mike Vick. Like, these people, if you're talented enough, you do get a second chance because NFL owners will overlook that. But if you're dog shit and you're too much of a distraction or you seem as a cancer in the locker room, you don't get a second chance in the NFL. Like, it's just out. Like, you're done. I mean, Jameis Winston, for example, at Florida State got caught stealing like 5 pounds of crab legs, still was drafted first overall.
Yep, dude was hungry.
Let him eat.
I mean, it's pretty telling to tell who you are as a person to be used as a 15th overall pick, and then only start. I think he only started like 6-7 games.
You talking about
benched,
Haskins?
Yeah, he got
Haskins
benched
was
3 or 4
sixth.
times. No, he wasn't drafted. Daniel Jones was.
He was drafted at 15.
He was drafted at 15th.
Oh,
yeah, he was 15th.
I thought
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
6.
No,
I know
Jones
Danny
was.
Dimes is, but Danny Dimes has potential still.
Right, yeah. So it's really telling who you are as a person to be drafted as a top 15 player in an NFL draft, thinking, hey, we want you to be the face of the franchise. Hey, we're giving you the keys to the locker room and to the front door. Like, hey, this is your boat. Like, you're going to drive it. And for you to be cut, not even 2 full seasons in, and all the off-field stuff, like everyone, I mean, players have off-field issues, but, if you're like James Harden, who goes to the strip club, gets 550,
he's the modern-day
but
Dennis
drops a
Rodman.
40-point triple-double. Yeah, but drops a 40-point triple-double, no one gives a shit. But when you're Dwayne Haskins, who plays 7 or 8 games as a starter and is benched 4 or 5 times out of those 8 games in the middle of the game, and you throw 12 touchdowns to 12 picks, bro,
You're ass. You're trash.
You're ass. You're trash. You do not deserve to be an NFL quarterback, let alone a starter. Like, you don't deserve to be a starter. Honestly, he'll be rostered. He deserves to be rostered because there's a lot of bad backups.
He was a first-round pick. He's going to be
Not even
rostered
backups,
somewhere.
4 stringers. He could get played.
Right.
He could get paid $100K a year and be a practice squad member and get paid to practice football. Hey,
That's the dream.
I would say $100K a year to practice a game is still better than all 4. I mean, what we do.
Yeah, right. But like at the end of the day, he will
at the
not
end of
be a
the day,
starting NFL quarterback.
He was a 15th overall pick. Said the league messed up. He didn't even want to be in Washington. He wanted to be number 1 overall. He thought he did not deserve that, and he clearly deserved to be in the 4th or 5th round out of that.
No, he wanted to be drafted to the Giants. That's why he was mad at the Giants, because he grew up an actual Giants fan and had said this on repeat, and then he got drafted to the Redskins. Sorry, Redskins at the time. I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong.
The football team now. But no, it really is just the fact that Evan, as you say, he did say the league done messed up. Did it? Or did the football team mess up? And also, I guess a story that I heard today on the Pat McAfee show that came from another player in the league. A veteran linebacker for the football team came up to him in practice, in OTAs and stuff, and said, "Dwayne, you got to stop looking like you're just staring down your receivers. You're going to get, one of those guys seriously hurt or the ball intercepted or whatever. You got to stop staring these guys down." And Dwayne, instead of taking that criticism and saying, "All right, yeah," from a dude that's been in the league for 15 years, just said, "Nah, I wasn't staring him down. Go look at the tape." Dude, this guy that has been in Super Bowls just told you something and you're not even going to listen to it? That is a wild statement, man.
The kid's all about himself. He
to
thinks
me,
he knows everything.
That's not a mentality you can have to play.
No.
And that's
Is he
the other.
Johnny Manziel level?
I think he might be there because.
I think he does. I think he's got to be.
Well, the other thing. So again,
Johnny Manziel level bust. He's got to be that level.
This is going to actually. This next example I'm about to lay out is going to segue really good into our next segment. But so this kid was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. Joe Burrow was a 3-star recruit. Both ended up at Ohio State. One was made to transfer because he wanted to play somewhere and thought he was good enough. The other, the school bent over backwards for him and proceeded to say, "Oh no, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best." He was never challenged or anything by any authority figure. He just literally had everything handed to him while at Ohio State. And if Ohio, I'm not going to go that far, but I'm going to say if the school is willing to bend over backwards for these 5-star recruits and do this type of thing, then that instills no accountability in you going forward in your professional career, because all of these guys, I mean, Cal, you have the list of all the Ohio State quarterbacks dating back a decade or something, but all of these guys have burnt out at some capacity or had to change roles in the NFL to even get a shot. But those guys that switched roles, props to, because you could tell, those guys that changed roles were committed to the game. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm the best. It wasn't all about me. It was like, no, I love the game of football. I want to play football as much as possible. So to me, I mean, Cal, if you want to go through that list, to me it's crazy to think about that all of these guys that are top tier quarterbacks at college just are duds.
So before I go down through this, I will say, especially with a program like Ohio State, and a lot of programs like it, aka Alabama,
Alabama's had a ton of quarterback burnout too, other than two is up in the air, but that's
when it comes to the quarterback position at these top-notch program schools, Division I program schools, they are honestly they're not a development. They're not developing NFL quarterbacks. They're just not.
no,
And
they're
I'm
surrounded by
gonna
talent.
prove it. They're getting these 5-star recruits and stuff to win national titles, and that's all they're caring about. They're not caring about developing that quarterback to be the star quarterback in the league. Look at all if you look down every quarterback in the league, I'm just gonna throw us out there. I would say 95% of them aren't from Power 5 schools. Think about it. They're not. Like these top level quarterbacks.
I wouldn't say Power 5 schools. I would say like the premier top of those Power 5 conferences.
Either way, you just don't see them. These top quarterbacks that are in the NFL aren't coming from these big name schools. But
well, I mean, just to give you an example, quick.
Yeah.
Arguably the top 3 MVPs right now: Josh Allen, Mahomes, and Rodgers.
Yeah.
Wyoming, Cal, and A&M. No,
Yeah.
Tech. He
Texas
came from
Tech.
Tech.
Yeah, like it's crazy. So just like you said, that list we're talking about, these are just like the past few star quarterbacks for Ohio State. Craig Krenzel, nope.
That's not even a
Troy
Selling insurance.
Nuh-uh.
insurance.
Terrell Pryor got shot. Was a decent wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
Yeah, Pryor was a good wide receiver.
Yeah.
For the Browns.
Job, though. He wasn't good enough to get a job outside of Washington.
Yeah.
So like
No.
he wasn't.
He
that
played for the
good.
Browns.
Played for the Browns. Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
really
and
good
then
for the
that-
Browns.
And I'm pretty sure they cut him though.
Yeah, then he
Nah,
got shot.
he walked.
Yeah.
Then he got shot.
He went to test-
He played for what, like 5 seasons as a wide receiver, maybe.
Yeah, I
don't
think
think
he
that
played
many.
in. I think he played in Oakland as well.
Yeah.
I think
He did.
Cleveland,
Yes,
Cleveland
I
and
remember that.
Oakland. He played for.
He played for Washington too.
Then 3.
And he got drafted there.
See, but that's an example. Cared about football.
Oh, he got drafted the
Yeah.
Raiders.
Cared about football. Changed. To wide receiver.
So Terrell Pryor, Braxton Miller,
Wide receiver.
Definitely selling insurance.
JT Barrett. He was on a practice squad with the Steelers. Behind Duck. Cardell Jones. No, but had a promising XFL season.
No, was
He
a
was in the
stud.
He was in the running for MVP.
MVP.
Yeah, 100% for the Washington.
Was it Nat? No, not
Is it Generals?
Generals.
Is it?
I think it was Washington
Who's
Generals.
the team I picked? I can't remember.
I think it was Washington Generals.
No, Renegades.
Renegades.
No. Renegades was not. That was Dallas, I think.
I thought it was DC Renegades.
No, Dallas Renegades.
Renegades, yeah.
Then there was the
Look
St.
it up.
Louis
I
Battlehawks,
got it.
LA Vipers.
The DC Defenders.
DC
Defenders.
Yep, Defenders. That's
They
what
were
it is.
they were the team that I picked that year, and they were doing well. They were going to be my team. It's sad that I don't remember the name, but the XFL kind of went.
Well, I was gonna say
What?
it tanked.
But either way, Cardell Jones had a really solid XFL.
But again,
He's not an NFL quarterback.
No, he's not an NFL
No.
quarterback.
Or he'd be on the roster.
He'd be on a Well, he might be a practice squad quarterback.
Not
maybe.
Jordan Teamu is the backup to Patrick Mahomes, and he played for the St. Louis Battlehawks.
Yep. Now, this next one, we've already kind of mentioned a little bit. Joe Burrow, kinda.
Quote: He was there.
He was there, but yeah,
Do you
I don't
think
count him.
Would he be the
Joe
one-
Brady.
do you think-
Joe Brady. And LSU. LSU.
He developed him.
Joe
yeah.
Brady is the reason why
Exactly.
Joe
Do you think
Burrow
he would
is
be
who
what
he
he
is.
is? No, or he'd
No.
just be another name on this
Well,
list?
hey, also,
Another name on the list.
apparently, when at Ohio State, Joe Burrow never was red jerseyed, so like the defense was just allowed to tee off on him.
Yeah.
Like whenever they wanted.
Yeah.
Which is
Yep.
wild.
Yeah, which is great. Made him a better player.
It did.
It did.
Built
Made
up
him a
that
player.
grit,
Yeah,
Then-
grit.
So then
Sneaky
now
athlete.
we're at to Dwayne Haskins.
which we know how that just went.
Bust.
Yep. And then now we have Justin Fields, which I will say is very talented, in my opinion. Could have a promising career if put in the right situation.
I'm telling you this right now, that every team in the NFL is running away from Justin Fields. Like,
Facts.
running away from him. They are running away from him. Like, all the mock drafts I'm watching, and, like, when McShay and all those guys are talking, they are running away from him. Because Carolina is looking for a quarterback, and they're looking at getting that guy. I'm not sure what his name is. But they're looking about drafting quarterbacks over top of Justin Fields now. So at what point?
I mean, I'm taking Trask, Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence. I'm taking
all. Trask. Trask is a better quarterback than Justin
what is it?
Fields.
The BYU quarterback. He's a stud.
I don't know his name.
Zach Miller? No, Zach Miller seems way too generic.
But
Zach Wilson.
Wilson. Okay.
I will say that this list. It's no shots to any Ohio State fans.
No, I mean,
because
it's just
make the same list.
It's a huge
for
shot.
for about 10 different schools.
No, we can make the same
Alabama.
list for Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Alabama.
literally. It can go down through any college, any big name
Other than
college.
Oklahoma. Other than Oklahoma.
No, Oklahoma's quarterback you.
You cannot make that argument for Oklahoma because even
They
if Sam Bradford was not a bust. Sam Bradford still played in the NFL. He played
Sam Bradford made like $400 million,
Does
dude.
He have a ring?
Yeah. No.
For backup?
No. Sam Bradford was not a bust. He was a starter for years. He just never lived up to be a number one pick.
No.
But,
Never
like,
number
other than
one
that-
pick, but
But
good.
like, other than that, can I name a bad Oklahoma quarterback in the last like 10 years? No, I can't. I can't find one. Like, Baker's been solid. Jalen Hurts was solid. Kyler Murray was solid. Like, I mean, I know that was only
God,
like the last like 5 or 6 years, but
10 years might be a lot, but I mean the past
But like I said,
in recent years they've
like
all
I
been
said,
solid.
ever since Lincoln Riley's been the head coach.
yeah.
I could have made a list for any of those schools, and it just happened to be we did Ohio State because of
Because of Dwayne Haskins. I mean, that's where he
solely the
went.
reason.
PFN ranked Wilson from BYU as second. The second
I'm telling you,
quarterback
dude.
overall.
Yeah.
I'm
that's what I'm
telling
saying,
you, he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, I'm taking a lot of quarterbacks before
And they
Justin
have
How
Fields.
tall is he? He's not very tall.
He is 6'3". He's
Okay,
tall.
he is tall. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
210.
In the picture that I saw today, he didn't look very tall. But
No, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of quarterbacks that are
Yeah, for
potentially
me,
going to be
Justin
coming
Fields
out
is
of this.
not. Fields is not top 3 for me. I'm going Trevor Lawrence, obviously, arguably one of the greatest college quarterbacks of all time. Zach Wilson and Trask. Facts.
I mean, and I don't disagree with that
you
list.
don't forget Mac Jones too.
But again, that's going back to the thing. It's like Mac Jones and then Fields because
And then Mac, yeah.
because those quarterbacks
might be
from
top
those
5.
schools don't pan out.
Correct.
Right.
So
Listen to this. Jalen Hurts has good, I would say, as good as he's been through 2.5 starts. I would 100%. He would not be a second round pick. He would not be a backup in the NFL right now. It's like a second on the depth chart. If he would have stayed at Alabama,
know
that's
crazy.
because he
I
wouldn't
thought
have
he
been
was ass at
started.
Alabama. I thought he was not a good quarterback in Alabama.
No, he
But when
won
he
them a
went to
national
Oklahoma-
championship
I mean, he did win SEC Player of the Year. Like he
and,
was
and a national championship.
and a national
Correct.
champion. But,
Well,
but when he went to
He got
Oklahoma,
better. Yeah.
Lincoln Riley made him better.
But again, the SEC
even
offense not the SEC. The Big 12 offense schemes are more
NFL.
oriented
NFL-like.
towards,
Right.
like
That's why you
being
see
a
a lot of
sort
coaches come
being
out of
a
the Big 12.
quarterback.
So
That's why you see
crazy
a lot
stat.
of NFL coaches out of the Big 12.
Crazy stat about Jalen Hurts though, in that if it was Carson, he'd get a lot of slack. He's played 3 games, 2.5,
9 fumbles.
9 fumbles.
9 fumbles.
Hey, that's like Russell
Yeah,
Wilson.
And
You
where's
got you
that
next
in the
Russell
national
Wilson.
media?
Yeah.
Yeah,
9
where's that in the
fumbles.
national
So
media?
when he won the championship in Alabama,
He came in at halftime, I know.
he threw for 17 and 1, 2,000 yards. I mean, a lot of his
That's a
core
freshman.
play.
That season,
no, he's
no,
second year.
Evan.
He was a
That's
sophomore.
I was gonna say that season was split though. Tua
Yeah.
took over halfway
Okay,
through
so
the season.
what year did he win the championship? 2016.
No, that's the year. So he started the season. Tua took over the second half of the season. Tua played through the playoffs. Tua got benched in the championship game. Jalen came in and won.
Yeah.
Like,
Saved
and I
him.
mean, ran away with it.
Yeah. But it's just it's drastic from what his stats are from Alabama to Oklahoma. You know.
No, it's crazy.
Clearly,
It is.
It clearly shows that he learned how to throw the football. They weren't throwing the football in Alabama with him. You know, he threw for 2,000 yards, 2,700 yards in Oklahoma. He threw for almost 4,000.
Correct.
2 touchdowns. And
But that's
8
what I'm saying.
interceptions.
The
That's
Big
good.
12's offenses are more conducive to quarterbacks.
Yep.
Also, let's move on to the next one because I think we've buried this one to the ground. Eliminated teams from the playoffs and where they go. If you guys want to start naming them, I have to go to the
Patriots.
bathroom. So you guys can start wherever you want, and I'll just pick back up.
All right.
I'll time you.
I'll name one just because I think we've talked about this maybe before. The New England Patriots are going to be bad for the next 10 years. I think they have no talent right now. I don't think their future is Cam Newton.
They don't have an identity.
I don't even think their future is Bill Belichick.
They don't have an identity.
They don't. Like, I don't even know what their identity was. Their identity was last year, their defense. That's what carried them to, 13-3, 14-2.
Yeah, 12-4, I think it was. They didn't,
I'm sorry.
They lost
I
a lot of games.
Don't have that on my right monitor here, but
yeah.
Heading into next year, where do they go? Like, I don't know their draft pick situation.
I'm guessing to Gillette.
I'm trying to be serious here, Kyle. I don't know where they go. I don't know where they go from here, to be honest. Who they draft, they lost a bunch of players to COVID this year.
A bunch of people opted out.
A bunch of people opted out. Yeah, that's what I meant. And they don't have a quarterback. Stidham sucks. Bill Belichick, it seems like, from now, we might think something different, but all the analysts on TV think Tom Brady ran that dynasty. So
I think it was a mixture.
No shot.
I mean,
It was a
well,
mixture of
yeah,
both.
we all have our own opinions. I'm just saying what I hear every day.
It takes two to tango.
Every day, yeah. I think it was a good combo.
The
But
best combo.
I don't even think Bill Belichick might retire. Who knows? I mean, does he really want to go through a rebuilding stage where the Patriots might be good in 5 years from now? Who knows? They're definitely not going to be good in the next 2 or 3 years unless they completely tank next year and some stud comes up as a quarterback. They have to draft wide receivers. They have us 4 out there playing wide out. It's worse than the Eagles.
Good.
I mean, it's just as worse as the Eagles.
Good franchises find a way, and the Patriots are a good franchise.
We talking? I was gonna say
I
we
just
still
don't
talking
see
about
it.
the Patriots.
Yeah.
I don't see it at all.
Patriots.
And
Patriots have to get a quarterback. They got to get one of the 5 guys you just mentioned. Period.
Yeah.
The Patriots, or get like Carson Wentz or Dak Prescott, or if they had the money, something like that. The problem with the
Bring
Patriots
Jimmy G
is
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with
He fits that mold.
Their team is that their salary cap is so tight because they were all in on Tom Brady at 43. You know what I mean? Like
that is
they
the
were
reason
all
why.
in. They're all in. That's the same thing with the Steelers. The Steelers are tight because they're all in at Big Ben at 38 years old for another year or two to maybe win a title.
And that's why the Packers aren't, because they never go all in. They don't know what that means.
They don't know what all in is, right? So the Patriots went all in, and honestly, listen, at the end of the day, if you're an NFL team, and you say, hey, we went all in for the last 3 or 4 years, we won 2 Super Bowls. And now we're going to be bad for the next 8 years. I would take that. I would take that as a franchise. Right, Broncos. They went all in. They went all I'm talking.
They went all in 3 years with Peyton Manning. They haven't had a winning season for 4 straight years.
Right, exactly. So
I still take a Super Bowl.
Exactly, me too. So that's just how I look at it. You go all in, and if you're bad for a year or two.
You're petting your dog.
Yeah.
The New England Patriots will be back. As long as Bill Belichick's there, they'll be back. Cam Newton's not the answer. He was just a replacement.
Cam Newton was a $1 million 1-year deal.
Low risk, high reward player.
It's like, hey, I could give this old MVP $1 million to come play. Every single coach in the NFL, if they don't have a quarterback at the current time, is 100% taking that risk.
Same thing with Jameis. Same thing. Jameis was the backup, but they did the same thing with Jameis.
No, they paid him $1 million.
They didn't need him.
No, they didn't. There was no reason to sign him. But guess what? That stopped someone else from signing him too.
Yeah, they got the best player in the NFL as backup quarterback. So
no, it's like Marcus Mariota. I mean, he could be a fringe starter for some bad teams, but
Marcus Mariota could start on some teams for sure.
Fringe teams.
He would start for the Patriots. No,
100%. Patriots would take him over. Yeah, Patriots would take him over Cam this year.
That's a good option for them too.
He's the current mold of a quarterback right now. He can run a little and throw the ball.
Yeah, but he's super inaccurate compared to the other mobile quarterbacks.
Right.
I'm not going to compare him
That's
to
his.
Mahomes or
That's his
Josh
biggest.
Allen or anything.
Yeah,
but
his biggest problem is
he
he's
has
just
it.
very inaccurate and has been like through his career.
Yeah. I think the Patriots will be back. It's gonna take some time, but a good GM, a good owner, like they'll be back.
Coach.
A good GM and the coach are the same person, so
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. Bill Belichick is their GM. To me, it's just as far as the Patriots go. Yeah, I mean, Bill Belichick even came out and said like, yeah, this year we were, kind of behind the 8 ball. We went all in for so many years that our cap is non-existent. And, like, we would have gone out and gotten a quarterback, but we had Cam here for $1 million, so why would we do that? Like, to me,
And they
it
have
just...
Stidham on a rookie contract, so...
Well, that's my thing. Like, is Stidham... Like, they have to start
He
Stidham this
sucks.
week, right? But they have to start him this week to see. Right?
Yeah,
They
Cam's
have
not,
to.
Cam's not taking another snap unless
Listen,
Stidham gets hurt.
I mean, they have to
plays-
start Stidham to see if he
Or
has
throws
anything.
like 7 interceptions.
Well, the way that I look at it, though, is like, if they're not playing him now, then they're obviously not seeing enough. They're not seeing enough from him in practice.
And I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not seeing him enough in practice because like their season's been lost for 2 weeks now, 3 weeks now. Like, what's the point of playing Cam Newton? Like, it makes no sense. You might as well play Jarrett Stidham, but they're obviously not seeing good things in practice. So then he's not going to translate to the football field. He's just not going to play.
Yeah, he's thrown more interceptions than he's thrown touchdowns at this point.
Right, he's just not going to play.
No,
Like, it's
Devontae.
just-
Okay,
it is
just
what
for
it
a
is.
point of reference, the entire New England Patriots team has 8 receiving touchdowns. Devontae Adams in 12 and a half games has 17.
That's that's gross.
That's
like
Offensive player of the year.
like
I
that's
agree.
just gross. I did not know of that stat. That is just gross.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
they have 8 receiving touchdowns. Devontae Adams in 12 and a half games by himself has 17.
Yeah, he might have broke the record.
I'm pretty sure.
No, what is it? I think it's 19. He needs 2 to break like every like conceivable record. Like Devontae Adams, I think needs it's like sorry, this is for Packers. The touchdown thing is for single season, but the other 2, he needs 4 receptions and 192 receiving yards in 13 and a half games, and he'll break every single thing for a normal season, which is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're talking about here. Yeah, Patriots bad. I think Patriots get better in a couple years because I think Bill has only a couple years left. I think he'll have like one last ride and then that'll be done.
This might be it for him. Evan said that when you were in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Evan
Okay.
said
I think he might.
could-
If he might retire this year, the Patriots.
If there's a time to retire, it's now.
No, it's
The
now on your
Patriots are
back.
going to roll the dice on on getting 2 good people. They're not going. I mean, most likely they're probably not going to hire a GM and a coach like Belichick.
No.
Like they're probably going to hire a GM and then a coach, right?
Well, I think
They're gonna have
that
to roll
they'll
the dice-
hire a
they're gonna have to roll the
GM.
dice twice.
Josh
for somebody
McDaniels.
good.
They'll hire Josh McDaniels as the
Yeah.
coach. They'll promote him from OC to
They should.
coach.
If they're going to move on from anybody, if Bill Belichick retires, they need to just transfer.
Yeah,
the
and
hands over
then
to-
you hire a GM.
And then
They
you hire a
hire
GM. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
that
see.
That makes it. McDaniels. Who knows how he's going to be? He's up and left 2 coaching jobs so far.
He
Like,
got
being
fired
the
from
head
the
coach?
Broncos after 2 years because he was horrible, and
Then he
He
go to
accepted
he
he
accepted
accepted
the
the
Indy
job.
job.
He accepted the Indy job and then
and
backed
then,
out.
left.
then
He
said
did.
nah.
Yeah.
Um,
They got a better coach, by the way, out of that deal for sure. But I mean,
phenomenal. Yeah.
that's I don't know. It makes sense. He's been if anyone needs to carry on the Belichick ways or maybe to be successful, McDaniels knows how to do it because he's been around Bill Belichick for his entire coaching career or most of it.
Correct.
But
All right. So I'm gonna pick like 2 more teams out of the AFC and talk about. So now that the Jets have screwed themselves out of the first overall pick,
Right.
what like are the Jets just gonna continue to like?
Portal Plexico Burris.
Yeah, are they just gonna continue
if
to
you
live
were the
in a
Jets,
hamster
how do-
wheel? Like
how Adam Gase just shot the fucking foot. Like I'm sorry, I just said the F word, but he just shot the Jets in
I
the
think that's
foot.
the first one of the day.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He completely screwed that organization for years to come, and he knows he's getting fired.
He's gone.
He's getting fired this year. If he doesn't get fired, Jiminy Christmas. I don't know
I
that.
disagree.
You disagree that he's going to get fired?
No, I disagree that he shot them in the foot. I mean, personally,
Trevor
like,
Lawrence could be the greatest college football quarterback of all time. Like,
So
but they don't.
So
they
is Tim
don't
Tebow.
listen, but they
So
don't
is Tim
have
Tebow.
anything. But you have to understand something. They don't have
that's
anything
true, Kyle, but-
to benefit Trevor Lawrence, anyways. So if anything, you're just going to keep throwing a great quarterback in a dark hole and just keep spinning.
No, I mean, it's,
Like
the, it's the
now,
Joe
they-
Burrow
they've got it,
problem,
I mean,
but
Right.
I'm taking
No.
into consideration that they're actually gonna, make progression and draft players for Trevor Lawrence. I'm not saying.
I think what they're going to do, which I think is going to end up being the good move for them, is I think they're going to trade out of that second pick because someone's going to want a quarterback, right? Like the
They have Sam
Carolina.
Darnold already. Yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah,
all
they have
that-
Sam
all
Darnold.
that.
Right, they have Sam
New
Darnold.
England.
Like, New England, right? They could trade out of it. They're going to get a buttload of picks. All right. They're going to draft more linemen, more defensemen, players who can benefit the Jets and just keep growing that way. Because Sam Darnold is not the problem. Sam Darnold is not the problem.
No, he's
with
far
the New
from
York
it.
Jets. He
I
is
think
far
that's-
from it.
Or
We-
or
it is
That's super
unfair.
smart.
It is unfair to give a hard grade on Sam Darnold and the situation he's put in. There is no quarterback. This is like the 2000 era, 2010 era Browns. Like, and successful. They have nothing around them to create success. So how are we gonna judge Sam Darnold on a team that has
Sam
nobody?
Bradford.
Like,
I'm not. I don't know why you said that. Sam Bradford's one of them, but the Lions quarterback.
Stafford.
Matt Stafford. I was
Yeah,
right
like
there.
how
Matt
am I
Stafford. Look at
supposed-
Matt Stafford right there.
Yeah, how am I supposed to get mad about Sam Darnold? Being
No,
like,
I mean,
oh,
the problem
he had a bad
is
game.
if
Well,
you
when the guy's
put
getting hit 15 times a game, he's gonna play bad.
They do that, Cade. Either they do what you said, or they trade Darnold for picks.
Right. That's fine too. And
Yeah.
then draft it, and then
Yeah.
draft a quarterback in second pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, either one,
Yeah.
but like I don't think
I still-
they're in a bad spot. I don't think they screwed themselves personally.
personally, I like your move more than drafting. Like, now that you're in the second, you have the second locked up. Personally, I like yours way more. I just think that, man,
Who's
like
yours?
if you have, because usually the consensus people, like Tim Tebow didn't go number 1 overall. The Broncos didn't have the first overall pick.
No.
I'm talking
He was
these
in the first round somewhere.
I'm talking these consensus number 1 overall guys. Am I lagging?
A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah.
All right. I'm talking these consensus number 1 overall guys, like the Joe Burrow. Who the hell was the quarterback?
Andrew Luck.
Luck.
Baker
Yeah,
Mayfield.
like no Luck.
Yeah.
Shut up, Cal.
He was.
I know
He was.
he wasn't.
He was.
No, he wasn't
Kyler Murray.
he wasn't the consensus
No,
number
but-
1 overall. I'm talking consensus number 1
Yeah,
overall.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Andrew
Trevor
Luck.
Lawrence is definitely
Franchise.
consensus.
Like-
franchise.
Yes.
franchise
Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston was the consensus.
Hit,
number
no.
one.
Him and Mariota were 1-2. They could have intervened.
Yeah.
They could have.
Yeah, no, but like everyone knew that Tampa was taking
DeMarcus
Winston.
Russell.
No. But I'm talking the Lucks and the Burrows of the thing where everyone, like just from just every standpoint, like even people that really don't know football are like, yeah, that guy should probably go first overall. Those guys usually, and yeah, we only got to see like 6 games from Burrow this year, but those 6 games he looked really good on a shitty team. I
With
just
no
think
line.
Getting better though.
Those one.
Getting
I just
better.
think that those guys are those dudes, and they turn into something that can be really good. Now, I just saw a video of Burrow walking again, which is huge
I
because
saw that too.
yeah, I'm real pumped to see what Joe Burrow does, just because I like him as a human being. He just seems like a really cool dude. I'm just
player.
I think
I think the consensus number 1 overall guys like you want. And I
Yeah.
like now that they're in the 2nd overall pick. Yes, they can do what you're talking about, Cade, where it's
I like that too. If
it's
they're
build around Darnold because you did spend a 2nd or 3rd overall pick on him.
Yeah,
I
he
think
was it was like the third.
that's a really good idea. If you don't get Trevor Lawrence, try to raise some picks and go with Sam Darnold. I mean, I think he's gonna
Trade
have,
back a couple and get a lineman.
Yeah.
Get a couple linemen.
get
yeah,
players
you
around
can,
him.
if you listen, the second
I like it.
overall pick in the NFL draft is like a gold. It's literally like gold because there's so
Bosa,
many
Young, ton of players come out of there.
right? Like, and there's so many teams that are like, hey, we could probably use a young quarterback right now. Like, yeah, we signed Teddy Bridgewater in Carolina, but like, is Teddy Bridgewater
He's only got
the
2 years.
future?
He's only got 2
Yeah,
years
but
left.
We
after
don't
this
know.
year.
We don't
Is
know.
he the future? But like, he's not the future.
Right.
He's not. He's not the future.
Well,
Right. So, he's not the franchise future for Carolina.
I mean, he spent one season there, and he didn't have Christian McCaffrey for the most of the season. So
I know, but Rule is going to draft who he wants. Like, I'm just saying, if he wants a quarterback, a quarterback, they're in a good spot to go get one. You're going to trade up and get it. Like like, it's worth so much. Like, the Eagles traded. I think they traded a total of 8 picks to get Carson Wentz at number 2. They traded up to get to the Dolphins pick, and then traded up to get to the Browns pick, who was picking number 2. So, like, I mean, like, you're gonna give up a lot of picks if you're gonna trade for it. So there's gonna be a team that wants that. Like, there's just gonna be a team.
Correct.
Name
another team.
All right, name another team. Chargers, because I think the Chargers are doing nothing but going up from here. I don't know if the Chargers miss the playoffs next 10 years.
Herbert is so good.
Herbert's really good, dude.
He's so good.
He has an MVP in the next 4 years.
He could be
That's
the best.
a wild
He could be
move,
the best
but-
quarterback in the NFC in the next couple years.
He's in the AFC.
I'm sorry, the AFC.
He's going to be better than Mahomes.
He might be. For some
he-
reason, I just thought the Chargers were in the NFC. Yeah, it's going to be him and Mahomes for sure.
Him, Mahomes, and Allen.
Yep.
No, I think those are going to be the 3 best AFC quarterbacks. I actually do believe that.
Yep.
I think the Chargers, they're currently sitting at 6-9. They're probably going to lose the last game just because why not?
No.
They lost some really close games too.
Well, no, most of their games were one-score games.
And gave up some pretty.
They could be in the playoff hunt.
I don't think that. I'm being serious when I say I don't think they missed the playoffs. Like the next 10 years is an exaggeration, but like the next 4 years, I don't think.
Yeah, next 4 or 5.
You think they would be?
No, I don't. I think most seasons, the playoff race in the AFC is not going to be the decision between an 11-5 team.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be 11-5 every year. No shot. The NFL is such a year-by-year sport that literally that's not possible. Like, it's just not possible.
49ers were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and they missed it the last 2 years.
They were dominant as all hell.
They were not even. Yeah. What they were
last year.
This past year.
Last year,
well, they went 4-12.
Yep.
They went 4-12.
That's yes.
Now they're 5-10.
Yep.
Okay, and the year they went 4-12. I think they went like what 14-2 or 13-3. 13.
I think it was 13-3.
13-3. Okay, and then they're now 5-10.
But again, this stands to my point.
Year-by-year basis.
This stands to my point where if you're going to be bad in the NFL, be bad.
Be bad.
Be bad.
Mediocre team in the NFL is the worst.
No, 8-8 is purgatory. You are in a constant cycle of hell.
Yes.
Dallas Cowboys.
Detroit Lions.
The NBA and the NFL are the same thing. You cannot be mediocre. You're either a contender or you're bad.
No, you got to be bad if you're going to be in the NFL. Like Denver fans are happy about getting, 6, 7, 8 wins a year. It's like, no, you guys want 2, 3, 4 wins a year. If you guys are going to be bad, it's 2, 3, or 4.
I just want to put this out there about Justin Herbert because we're talking about the Chargers. I'm not saying that Joe Burrow isn't going to live up or be good, but I am saying that Justin Herbert, this is one of those classic cases where Justin Herbert was the consensus number 1 pick entering last year's college football season. He had a good year, but Joe Burrow took the world by storm. Like his personality, the way he played, LSU winning the national title, memes of him smoking cigars. Like Joe Burrow took over the freaking world, right?
But again, I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but at the end of the day, Justin Herbert was still the better prospect.
No, and I agree.
Showing up on the football field.
What I'm saying is Herbert just playing 4D chess and was like, I'm just going to play all right this year. I'll get drafted by an all right team, not a dog shit team like the Bengals.
Right.
And then, I can actually progress in this world.
He has a top 10, maybe top.
Keenan Allen is a top 10 receiver, and I'll fist fight anybody on it.
Punch. Top 8. Punch.
I'll take top 8. I'll take him over a lot of guys.
Well, Hunter Henry is a top 10 tight
Mike
end.
Williams is solid.
Mike Williams and Keenan Allen together, a 1-2 punch, is really good.
It's really good. Right.
Really,
and Hunter
really good.
Henry is a great safety net at tight end.
Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler's a great running back.
I'm telling you guys, is Justin Herbert just smarter than all of us and playing 4D chess? So he was like, I'm just going to have a mediocre season here by my standards.
I'll have a bad pro day.
Like, is he just that far ahead of us? But no, I really do believe the Chargers are going to be a real issue. Also, who's the really good dude on defense for them? Derwin James didn't play this year.
Derwin James.
Didn't play this year.
Yeah, he had towards ACL.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bosa's there.
Joey
too.
Bosa.
He's the heart of that team's defense.
Manti Te'o.
Well, first off, Ingram is good. Like Melvin Ingram is good. Joey Bosa is good. Like they're.
Dude, I'm telling you, the Chargers are coming.
No. I said this year.
Who's their coach?
I said that
Anthony Lynn's
going to
get fired.
Team.
They're going to get a new coach.
Yeah.
They need a better coach.
Ty, I said that team is the most underrated team in the NFL, like roster-wise. Like, as a roster construction, I said this year that team is the most underrated.
Dog, I've always been a low-key Chargers fan just because I like the baby blues. But, and I was a big fan of Phil Rivers. Yeah, I like it. But, you know.
It was definitely my best fantasy move this year is picking up Justin Herbert after Dak tore his complete ankle off.
Phenomenal pickup.
R.I.P.
All right, let's talk a couple of NFC teams now because that seems needed. Do we want to talk about where the Eagles go, or are we just going to assume that, you know, that Justin Herbert, or not, that Jalen Hurts starts?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's either Doug Peterson's gone and Carson Wentz is a starter, or Doug Peterson stays and Carson Wentz is gone. Like, that's it. Other than that, the team just needs to get a little bit younger. Like they should not. I mean, they're gonna
get rid of Alshon for. I was gonna say get rid of Alshon for an actual receiver.
Yep. Like you know, they're actually. I'm actually not mad about the receivers. They have a couple young, promising receivers.
Didn't you take Arcega-Whiteside over Justin Jefferson?
You know, no, Arcega-Whiteside over DK Metcalf.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, we took Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson.
Okay, well, my point still stands.
Yes, sir. But anyways, you know, the one thing I'll say about the Eagles.
There we go.
Is the Eagles missed the playoffs in 2016 and then made a Super Bowl run. They're not going to do that again. It's not going to happen again. But I will say that the Eagles need to trade, like get rid of Zach Ertz. Like it's time to move on. You know, like guys like Fletcher Cox, who's like late in his career.
Great.
You know, can still get some trade value. You know, they need to they need to embrace a rebuild instead of running from it, and start over with Jalen Hurts as your quarterback, because the city of Philadelphia never accepted Carson Wentz as their quarterback ever. So like you should cut ties, move on. Jalen Hurts is your you can do. I mean, probably Carson Wentz is definitely going to be the better player in the end, but you know. As for the locker room, for everything, you got to cut ties and move on.
They never played for Carson Wentz.
Never did.
Not this
never
year.
once.
Not this year.
No, never. I never.
That team that won the Super Bowl, in the Super Bowl for Nick Foles, was a completely different team that played for Carson Wentz that year. Even though they did well, but that was because Carson Wentz went crazy. He went off.
Well, right.
Yeah.
The defense all of a sudden became elite when Carson Wentz tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Right, and then all of a sudden, when Carson Wentz the very next year, he goes like 5-6 as a starter. He has a broken back or whatever, he has a fracture in his spine or whatever it was, and he sits down, and then all of a sudden the Eagles defense like gives up 10 points to the Falcons in a home playoff game. Like it's just crazy. Carson Wentz is. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him that a city hates him that much that they'll do anything to not have him play.
I don't think it's the city. I think that it's more the media.
Why does the city hate Carson Wentz?
Because he didn't win the Super Bowl. Nick Foles did. And to this
I mean,
day,
there isn't that endearment. Like, yeah, you got us 13 or 11 wins, but like you didn't. You didn't win it. You didn't win it.
No. Yeah, you didn't win it. It don't matter. If you looked at Eagles Twitter, people still say they should have kept Nick Foles. As Nick Foles is benched. Like he tried to go to Jacksonville. Granted, he broke his collarbone, but then got traded and got benched. Like, I mean,
he would not have been successful in Jacksonville either.
But exactly, but it's just, you know, he wasn't successful when he left the Eagles the first time. Almost retired. Doug brought him back. Rest is history. You know, it's just. When you don't win the only Super Bowl that they have, like, and Philly's a tough city to play in. It's a tough city to play in.
No, it is. It's football city. It's a
Foles
gritty city.
In Philly.
They got a statue for a guy out there that played 4 games.
Legend.
Like, come on.
Still won the game though.
He won the game. He won the game.
Beat the
But
Pats.
no matter what, they need to move on. Both parties need to shake hands and say, "Hey, it's just not the right fit."
We tried.
Agreed.
We tried.
So this
Agreed.
team, I actually have a fun fact about before I say who it is. Their point differential is -1, which usually means you're about a 500 team.
You're a playoff team.
Falcons.
Cal got it. 4-11. The Falcons are -1 point differential.
Yep.
It's just a joke of a franchise.
How?
It's Atlanta Falcons. Only they could do that.
Because they get up in games and then lose the.
Yeah, they get up in games and lose. Like
lose by.
in the beginning of the year, they lost like 4 games after they were up like 20 points.
The Atlanta Falcons started rebuilding last
no,
summer.
I have an even better stat, guys.
They can't get rid of Matt.
No,
I like
guys,
stat.
I have an even better stat. The
like
Falcons are 4-11, and their point differential is -1. All right.
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions are 5-10 with a point differential of -140.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
By that measure, the Falcons could be easily like 8-8, right?
It's because
the Falcons should be a playoff team.
Falcons 1 week will be
The
a
Falcons
team by
should
30.
be playing for a playoff team week 17.
The Falcons is the hardest team ever to bet on, ever.
Yep. I did it last year, and I haven't placed a bet on them yet this year.
New England is 6-9 -41.
Yeah. They will beat a team by 30 1 week, and the very next lose by a touchdown after being up 24 points at half.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
that happened this year multiple times.
The way that I look at it,
Just burn the franchise down, man.
the Atlanta Falcons should have started rebuilding last summer. I understand you're saying that they're tied to Matt Ryan, but there's teams that are looking for a quarterback who are just missing a
A
quarterback.
team can't eat that cap, though.
The contract.
How much is it?
He's owed $150 million
so much.
over the next 3 years, dog.
Yeah, we said it last episode.
People want to say Carson's contract is bad. Matt's is immovable.
Right after he won the MVP.
It is immovable.
Right after he won the
bad.
MVP, they went and said, "Here."
No, Carson's is $25 million a year. Matt's is $50
Well, Carson's is like 36 if you do the roster
with
bonus
extra stuff. Yes.
Yeah, with the Eagles, yeah.
But what I'm saying is, one is 36, and people are like, "Oh, that you can't trade that. You can't do this. You can't do that. He's 26. You can't do that." Matt Ryan's 35 years old, and it's $50 million a year. That's bonkers, dude. So when people
Julio's
say,
got the bag.
Julio's
got
that
the
the
bag.
Falcons
I mean,
are tied to Matt, that is a genuine thing unless Matt Ryan retires.
His contract was 5 years, $150 million. This year he made 20.
But it's backloaded.
Yeah, next year he makes 23. Year after he makes 23.7, and then the final year he makes 28 million. In 2023.
That's not bad. If he's only making 28
That's not counting. That's base.
Oh, that's what's going to be tradable, though. That's what's tradable.
Yeah, the cap hit is 36.6, 41, $40 million cap hit next year.
That's for the Falcons, though.
Yes, but that turns into dead cap.
Right.
Dead cap.
For them, yeah.
That's
But
what
if
I'm
you're
saying. That's what I'm saying.
But if you're rebuilding,
But then you got
you're
to.
not. Cap is nothing. You're not trying to acquire players. You're trying to
They have
get rid of
Draft them.
Give cap in the future.
they have a wide receiver for
Son
the
of a bitch.
future.
Shit.
They should move Julio, move on from Julio. They got Calvin Ridley, who's their future. Do what they need to do with Matt Ryan, but get some new talent in there. Get something that changes it up. Julio is Julio. He's fantastic.
Yeah, but he's 32.
I know. That's what
Julio's
I'm saying.
getting
That's
up there,
crazy.
yeah.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah,
Hey,
good
Jamal
time.
Murray's out tonight, so I got to change my
People will
lineup
pay.
quick.
People will pay a lot of money for Julio, even at 32. Get rid of him.
Dog, checking
He doesn't
fantasy
find
basketball
the
is going to be
end
the death of me.
I think I got you last week. Didn't I, Ty?
set the lineup, but you can set the lineup by day.
I set it by week.
Day. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I've been doing.
Dog, I had 4 people play
Wanna
tonight
know,
on my
baby.
bench.
Beat
Yeah,
the battle droids.
I lost last week's matchup because I forgot.
Hey, by the way,
Saturday.
the Milwaukee Bucks are up 142-93 on the Heat.
That's
You can drop
absurd.
200. How much time?
Anyway, we got to get back on
Minute
track.
39.
We got to get back on track.
Yeah,
We got to.
We're well into this podcast right now.
Yeah,
We're like 2 hours in.
we got to get back on track. Yeah, no, the Falcons. To me, the Falcons. Yeah, I agree. They need to get rid of Matt Ryan because you got to blame somebody. You tried getting rid of Dan Quinn, and you're still losing games. But you can't get rid of Matt Ryan. Julio is still. I don't care who I will fight you on it. Is a top 3 receiver in this entire league because he's just a freak. Julio's a top 3 receiver.
Cade, if you were to read that score to me, and you were to guess how many points Giannis has right now, what would you guess?
I think Julio is also a top 3 wide
Thank
receiver.
you,
in the NFL
Cade.
attack.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Their defense is trash, but I mean the Falcons still need to do. They need a complete shakeup, whether like literal top to bottom, because the fact that they've lost 8 games this year in the fourth quarter. What's another team? I can find it real quick. Another team that is officially eliminated from the NFL. We could talk about the 49ers, but the 49ers I feel like will be back next year. Cal, put the fist down.
You should fight anyone.
Shut up. I mean, Minnesota will probably be back. I don't really think we need to touch on them. Detroit's probably going to lose Matt Stafford, in my opinion.
Feel bad for him.
They should. They should.
They
get rid of
should.
him. They should
I feel
get rid of
bad
him.
for that man.
We kind of talked a little bit about Carolina, and those are the only teams that are official. So right now in the NFC, the Eagles, the Vikings, Lions, Panthers, Falcons, and 49ers are the only officially eliminated teams. I mean, I think we talked about the only 2 like interesting ones.
That's only because of the NFC East. Because really the only other viable team in there is the Cardinals, right? They're the only other team other than the NFC
Bears.
East. Bears, yeah, but they're already in.
Bears are
They're
in
technically
the
in
playoffs.
right now. They're technically in right now. Cardinals are only they're 8th seed.
But
Yeah.
they're gonna
Yeah.
lose to the Packers.
But what I'm saying is there's no one after the Cardinals other than the NFC East. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Cardinals. No, the Cardinals and Rams game this Sunday is for the spot.
Yeah. I'm talking about after the Cardinals. There's no one after the Cardinals though, correct?
No. The NFC East, the football team, the Cowboys, and the Giants are only in it because of who wins what.
Yeah.
I really hope the Eagles play spoiler.
I hope they don't.
I do.
Yeah, you want.
I hope the Eagles lose.
No, I want the Cowboys in.
No.
I think. However,
Do you know why?
if there was any team that is viable to make the playoffs, it to me is the Cowboys because Andy Dalton's not a bad quarterback.
Andy Dalton's on fire right now, dude.
Neither is Alex Smith if he's healthy.
He's not though.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk
I
about
said,
playoff clinchers and the games that can be clinched. We'll talk about the clinchers first. Bills and Steelers both just clinched games. I don't really think that either of those are a mega surprise. I think that Buffalo actually beating New England twice in a year, I didn't see that happening. But I think that
first time since 1999.
2000.
Close.
Yep. Pittsburgh, I mean, it was expected when you started 11-0, so I can, makes sense. It also was massive that Cleveland happened to lose to the Jets.
Yep.
Tennessee and Indianapolis, that game is still completely up in the air.
Yep.
Kansas City's been clinched for a while. No one cares about it. Like we said, the NFC East completely up in the air. Green Bay had already clinched a playoff spot last week.
It is absolutely insane that we have 5 teams at 10-5 in the AFC.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of those teams will not make the playoffs.
Yeah, 100%.
Just imagine if we didn't have the 7. We didn't have the 7 seeds right now.
Yeah, no.
The normal
2 of
6.
them are missing it.
Like, absolutely insane.
No, it's wild. Tampa Bay clinched one this past week with a win at 10-5. New Orleans won the division the week prior. Seattle locked up a playoff. No, I think they locked up the West. The West with a win this past week.
Yes.
I think. Who do you guys think out of the AFC is gonna move on? What do you think? Out of those 5 teams.
To me, I think Miami loses. If Buffalo isn't playing their starters, because nothing's been announced yet. If Buffalo plays their starters, it's 100% Buffalo.
Yeah, 100%.
I think they win that game.
Yeah.
If not, I'm probably giving the nod to Miami, and then then it completely hinges on the Browns beating the Steelers, which I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's the Steelers.
Plus 10 line.
Yeah, I don't care about the line. I'm talking money line at this point.
I think on the AFC,
Baltimore's going to beat.
I think
so. They control their own destiny.
Baltimore just has to win, and then everyone else has to help them. And by that, I mean if Cleveland loses to the Steelers, Cleveland's out.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I think the Cleveland, I think the Tennessee. I think Tennessee's going to win the division. So I think.
Well, I was going to say whoever wins that game between these two literally win. No, Tennessee's playing Houston.
Yeah, Tennessee plays Houston.
Yeah, and Indy
plays Jacksonville. Okay, so they should both win both of those games, and if that does happen, if they both win those games, if the Browns, they're both in. If the Browns lose, if the Browns win, Indy's out.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think Tennessee wins the division. I think the Browns should beat the Steelers without the Steelers probably resting a lot of offensive players.
I got to imagine, dude.
Yeah, you got to hope. And I think Baltimore gets in. I think those are the two wild card teams because Baltimore is going to beat the crap out of Cincy. They're going to win.
No, they're going to dog walk them.
So
yeah.
If we think Tennessee's going to beat Houston, Indy obviously needs the most help. Where they need they need two teams. They need the win, and then they can have Baltimore loss, Cleveland loss, or
Miami, and they get in.
Yeah. Yep, they get in. So that's what I think. I think it's going to be Indianapolis. I think it's going to be the Browns, Ravens, Indianapolis are going to be the wild card teams.
So you're thinking Miami loses to Buffalo then?
Yeah, I do.
What if Buffalo doesn't play their starters?
If Buffalo doesn't play their starters, then Miami gets in.
And Indy's out.
The Browns, and the Ravens. I think that's consensus for everybody.
I think like that's where I'm at.
It's going to be wild when Deshaun Watson throws for 5 touchdowns and beats.
He's hurt though. He's hurt. He got one out of the game last week.
He's going to throw left-handed.
It was his quad.
It was his quad.
I stand by my statement.
No, to me, I think that I just the innocent child in me has to believe that Cleveland will somehow beat Pittsburgh, even though I've only seen it like 3 times in my entire life.
It's in Cleveland, so if it was in Pittsburgh, different story.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's in Cleveland.
Dog Pound's gonna be going nuts.
all 25 people in there.
Yep. Yeah, I don't. If Buffalo doesn't play their starters, I think Miami does win that game. Now, they've announced Tua is the quarterback, but if Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in, then I hate Buffalo's chances of winning that game.
They're sticking with Tua?
Yeah.
They have an open closer game, bro. Hard to game plan for.
As far as the NFC goes, what is it?
NFC, we got.
I mean, Washington just has to beat Philly, and Washington's in, right?
Yes. Or they have to either win or Dallas loss. If Dallas loses.
Either one, okay.
Yeah.
So I think
tie.
Washington should win because they have like a top 8 defense.
Yeah.
But because it's the NFC East, the Eagles will probably win, and then
Philly.
By just random chance, the Cowboys will probably lose, which means the Giants get in.
Yep.
Because why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Who does Chicago play?
They play the Packers. Chicago has to beat the Packers to get in. That is the end of the line, and the Packers are playing for a 1 seed.
Unless Arizona loses.
No, I think one of those two are in regardless. It's whoever wins.
No, but if Arizona. Chicago's in.
Chicago
if
wins.
They lose and then Arizona loss.
Chicago wins or Arizona loss or Chicago tie and Arizona tie.
Yeah, because they're in right now.
Okay.
So if they both lose, they're still staying in.
Yeah.
So Arizona needs to win because I don't want the Bears to have any happiness.
So Arizona's in if Arizona wins or Arizona tie and Chicago loss.
Okay. Well,
so
the Bears are going to lose.
The Bears have to lose. The Bears
are going to lose. The Packers are playing for a 1 seed. Those boys are going to come out hot. Period. Like the Packers are coming out on all cylinders because they want to play in Lambeau. Like that to me is that's a lock. Like, Chicago's going to lose that. Arizona and the Rams are going to be a wild game because they're both starting, like, I think Arizona's starting a Canadian Football League quarterback, and the Rams are starting an XFL quarterback. It's wild. I think is that the only movable spots in the NFC right now?
Seattle.
Yeah, because
Tampa has the 5 seed.
Yeah, Tampa's already locked. There's only 2 spots open.
Seattle can get first round bye if they win, Green Bay lost, and New Orleans lost or tie. They have to get both of those.
They need the most help.
But wait. This is the situation.
And Green Bay has the tiebreaker with the Saints.
So listen to this. So if Green Bay wins, they're in. Right?
Yeah, they get the 1 seed.
If the Saints win, the Packers lose, and the Seahawks win, the Saints get the 1 seed.
Yeah.
The Saints get the 1 seed. If the Seahawks win, the Packers win. The Packers lose.
Yeah.
And the Saints lose.
Yeah.
No. Sorry. If the Saints lose and the Packers lose, the Seahawks are in.
Yes.
And if the Seahawks win and the Packers win, they have the tiebreaker over the Packers. They're the 1 seed.
No.
Packers are 1 seed, period.
I'm very sure. I thought.
No, Packers are 1 seed, period.
Oh, wait, no. Yeah, sorry. If they win.
Bye, Evan. Literally, Seattle can clinch first round bye with one scenario is Seattle wins, Green Bay loss, and New Orleans loss or tie.
Okay. What is Evan doing?
I don't know. He's gone.
Hi,
and
Evan.
we're back. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never got that error message ever in my life.
It's really great.
Sure.
There's a lot of things said about you when you were gone that you can't defend, so it's the best part.
Just quit looking up porn, dog. It's not that hard.
True.
Pornhub's free, and has no viruses.
It's true.
One of those weird sites for that weird stuff. Anyway, we're moving on to the betting section. If you want to join us on that, last week, real quick. I was 1-1. I'm putting that right here.
Same.
Cal was 1-1. Cade was 1-1. Evan was 1-1.
So if you going out, if you made the bets on everything that we put out and you put the same dollar amount, you broke even. Not bad.
Ideally. I don't think any of us... I don't think any of us chose underdogs. No, you chose an underdog, Cal. You won the people money.
I did. I chose an underdog.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, what was the first game I won?
You took the Nets -2 and the Eagles -2.5.
Oh, there was the Nets. Sorry.
The Panthers +2.5 is the bet of the year.
I thought I did the Clippers. Sorry, I thought I did the Clippers bet.
Cal is the only one that actually truly won the people money. Because Cal had Nugs money line and Panthers +2.5. I had Nuggets money line, Chargers -3. Evan had Nets -2 and Dolphins -3. So we're all 1-1. Not too shabby, honestly. I would consider that not too bad. We've definitely done worse as a group. But I will say, in our private bets that we just do that we talk about, I'm lagging really bad right now on the screen. But privately, we've all been on a pretty spicy heater lately.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big heater.
And for all of you people, I'm gonna call you or the people that listen
there are people
enjoy our podcast. I will say, if you didn't see our tweets about the Share the Love event that FanDuel ran, sponsor us. You guys are idiots.
No, that's
lost
on you.
$45.
Yeah,
free $45. They were at
free
plus 103.
103. 103 points in a football game. Now, if you would have bet that on the Clippers, you would have came close. But 105 plus 105. You guys are idiots. And I will stand here and say that. And I'm sitting.
Yeah, no. Follow our Twitter, @JustUsGuysPod. It's down at the bottom of the screen. We tweet out usually daily bets, just some things we got floating around in our heads, things we feel pretty good on. But yeah, definitely check that out. And we retweet other sports. It's not just betting, we do some funny commentary and other things like that. Make sure to follow us @JustUsGuysPod on Twitter. Also follow us on Spotify, YouTube, and Facebook. Who wants to lead us off this time? You want me to, or because I got two locks.
Yeah, I got 2. Go ahead, Ty.
All right. I'm really not jumping out on a limb here for any underdogs because I don't think I need to. But the Packers right now, who are playing for a number 1 seed, are -5.5. I'm going to smash that with about $50. because I know it's a division game. I get David Montgomery has been having a day, and I'm riding high off the Packers shutting down Derrick Henry. But by God, the Packers want that 1 seed, so let's go ahead and hammer that -5.5. My second one, as Kate alluded to earlier, which I actually didn't know about, but I was still going to take regardless, A&M being -7.5 in the Orange Bowl. Yeah, I just think that A&M wants to come out and make a statement where, hey, we should have been the 4 seed.
They see red.
That's kind of where I'm at with it, is they're not happy about where they got placed, and unfortunately UNC is in front of them. So, yeah, I like Green Bay -5.5 and A&M -7.5. Which, mind you, a lot of points. I will not shy away from that. A lot of points, but I like those games.
I'll go. So I'm going to do an NBA and football game like I did last week. I'll probably do that.
When's the NBA game?
The NBA game, I'm going to do the Lakers. It's tomorrow night.
Okay.
So you guys should all hear the podcast before it comes out. I mean, for the game.
Our loyal listeners, you know.
It's a 10 p.m. game. Yep. It's the Lakers -5.5 over the Spurs. They just lost a close game. I kind of the close game to the Blazers. They should come out and they should probably steamroll the Spurs by more than 5.5. And then I'm also going to take the same bet Ty took. I am 100% all in on Green Bay -5.5 over the Bears. That just seems like a joke to me. Other than probably the Bills. Now, I would say the Bills and the Green Bay have had the 2 best offenses in the NFL for the last 8 weeks. So I would say that if you believe that the Chicago Bears are going to put up at least 30 points to hang in that game, then you're going to cash out the bet. Like, that's just how I look at it. Like, I don't care if it's in Soldier Field. I don't care if it's for a playoff matchup. I don't care if it's for the 1 seed. I'm just talking straight up 30 points out of the Chicago Bears. I know they scored like 5 games in a row over 30.
Over 30.
But,
I mean,
yeah, I know they've done it, but I don't believe they do it against Green Bay. Like Matt LaFleur versus Matt Nagy, no shot. No shot. Packers 5.5.
Hey, I'm here for it. I mean, there's a reason I just said hammer it.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, the Bears' last 4 games, they are 3-1. They've scored going from the first game in December, so December 6th. They lost to the Lions 34-30. They beat the Texans 36-7. They beat the Vikings 33-27, and then they beat Jacksonville 41-17. All of those teams have losing records.
Pretty bad football teams.
Okay. Then the game prior to that was the Packers-Bears 41-25.
That's what I see.
So, I mean,
that's what I see.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for my picks, I'm going to take Philly +1.5 versus the football team. The football team is starting
LES, baby.
The football team starting a 3rd-string quarterback, which I think Jalen Hurts is much better. Seems like the football team can't figure anything out without Alex Smith under center. And if he's not under center, they're going to lose. So, Cowboys or Giants, for me, are going to get in the playoffs, it seems like.
Or the Eagles lose by a point.
And, well, the line actually went up +1.5, plus a half a point. So, I don't know what changed from an hour ago till now. But,
hey, you take it.
And my next pick is Florida -3.
Florida +3?
+3.
I'm sorry. I keep saying -3. Florida +3.
You do keep saying -3.
Thanks. But Florida +3.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Right, get it tight.
I mean, wait, that dropped from 3.5 because that was definitely 3.5 at the beginning of this when I looked this up.
Sorry, my entire computer just restarted, so I don't have anything up anymore. Let me see.
Yeah, I had Florida at 3.5.
+3.5. Florida. Yep. And Philly is +1.5.
Yeah, I have that. All right, Bert, what do you got?
Cal.
What?
What are your bets?
Oh, well, Muzzy likes Iowa State -4.5. Big Cyclones guy. Look at high five. High five. Come on, give me some. Give me some. Ha! See, he's a big fan of Iowa State. And then we're also going to go with Jets +3. Jets plus.
I don't hate that, dude. I was
Jets
looking at
plus
I was
three.
looking
Hey,
at
guys,
that,
listen.
man.
Yo, listen, if
Jets-
this is a year New England loses to the Jets, it's now.
Jets
It's
plus 3. We're going with the hot hand.
I have a
Hot
question.
hand.
I was looking at that one.
Listen.
I honest to God thought about it.
I have a question. What if the line changes?
That's what you
Do
got him at.
do we just go with
No,
the
that's
line?
what you got him
No,
at.
this
That's
is-
what you got him at.
Yeah,
And
you
by
made
the
it
way,
there right now.
If
We're
you
not
don't,
okay.
so
Okay.
here's
Evan.
here's our stipulation. If you don't put this bet in while these lines are what they are, what we just said, you then have to go and take the alternate spread of whatever it is that we made this day, like on this
Okay.
day.
by the way, Evan, do we have an asterisk this week?
We do. Ty, you have an asterisk, buddy. You're 1-1 and a star.
I asked Cal about this.
Nice star, buddy. You'll have it for the rest of the year.
No, I considered it a W. He got -3. They
I mean,
won
it
by
pushed.
3.
You got your money back.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's
No,
not
that's
true.
right.
No, that's not a loss. That's not a loss.
That's
No,
what I'm
I just
saying.
said asterisks.
Not a loss. You
Seriously,
won.
I was.
If
I
you
was
didn't
spending
lose,
time,
you won. If
I
you
was
didn't
spending time
lose, you
with
won.
with my pup back here, but honestly, I'm going with the Cyclones -5.5. I mean 4.5.
4.5.
I think they're way too much for Oregon. Like I said, I don't think Oregon should even be in the game. They shouldn't even be considered being a 25 seed. That's just a slap in the face to a lot of the teams in the country.
Facts.
And then the Jets got to ride the hot hand. They're here to spoil things. Hey, they already lost first pick, so might as well just keep winning. Who cares at this point?
I mean, that's kind of
Yeah,
my
who cares?
thought.
They locked
and
up the second pick,
and-
too. If they win or
and
lose, they
if
locked up the
Stidham-
second pick.
Yeah,
If
they
Stidham was
clinched
playing-
second. Yes.
Stidham was playing. You watched him play in that second half last night. I don't know.
Dog water, kid.
Don't know.
You're free.
No, he's bad.
Trash.
free.
So
Free
I'm
plays.
100%. I literally might put the mortgage on the Jets plus
It's my
3,
favorite.
and
trash
I
talk right now,
don't
kid.
have a mortgage, and I'd still put it on it.
Honestly, I don't hate it. I really was looking at that one like, dude, if the Patriots
sir,
play
Steve.
how they just played, and then we got the Jets on a 2-game heater, like
Yeah.
it could happen. I mean, no one can beat them for the second seed, so like, why not go out and get a win the last game of the season? Finish 3-13.
100%. On a high note.
Yeah, like we sucked massive,
I know.
and we won 3 in a row to finish out the season. I mean, what's that? Nothing wrong with that. Let's see. Anyone got anything else to add?
Nope. Good.
No. I think if anything else, so we're gonna talk about it next week more. But I think Aaron Rodgers locked up the MVP last week.
No, he did. He did.
Yeah,
I wanted
we'll
to.
do
I wanted to
all
talk
the
about
awards
that,
next
but we're
week.
going to talk about
Yep,
the
yep.
awards next week. Yeah, after the season, because if Josh Allen, who has a very outside chance of getting it, and Pat Mahomes, that's the only other person there. I just
Josh Allen.
Evan, look, he made an appearance.
he did.
Oh,
And
Barely seeing me, buddy.
don't forget about our boy Trent.
Richardson.
No,
Trent
Jordan.
Watt.
Trent Jordan Watt.
There's a D in front of that POY. So
Still.
all right, I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I think he gets it this season too. Well, hey,
he
we'll talk
doesn't-
about that's next
he's
week though.
there.
That's
If
next
he
week
doesn't-
though.
If he doesn't.
What if they give it
Yeah.
to AD again?
No, they'll probably give it to the dude from Xavier, whatever his face is from.
Oh, Xavier Howard.
Yeah, from the Dolphins. Fins up.
Fins up. All right. Thank you again, everyone, for watching Just Us Guys Pod.
Pray for Evan and I.
Yeah, T's and P's to the boys. They have COVID-19.
Sorry for not wearing a mask, but I'm here by myself.
I was gonna say they're both secluded right now. We're following protocol. We're staying 6 feet apart. Look out for your fellow neighbor, and yeah, have a great weekend. You guys got anything to add?
Corvette.
Hop in the shit like that.
Let's go win some money, everyone. Thanks for
Yeah.
watching.
Dab up.
Go Steelers. Go Steelers.